h1, winning the rook on h7.
I didn't even see that one. So let's show that, Anna. Nice point. If rook takes h7 here, which is a move I'd probably play without thinking, rook to h4, and then if rook h1, Anna was pointing out, boom, bishop c1. Can we hear a boom from you, Anna?
Boom!
Good stuff.
I need to practice my booms. I'm keeping it for Vishy.
Welcome to the Pro Chess League, and well, it's going to be great fun. It's going to be an amazing day of chess today, and I'm really looking forward to commentating, and I'm really excited to be commentated with the amazing Anna Rudolf. How are you doing, Anna?
Thank you for the introduction, Simon. We have been missing you. You've been in Gibraltar doing an amazing job at the Gibraltar Chess Festival, but now we are happy that we've got you back.
That's very kind, Anna, and it's good. It's good to have a bit of double ginger on the screen, I think, again. Yeah, so bit of
and maybe
ginger
at
magic.
some point triple ginger.
Yeah. What, you including my beard as another bit of ginger? I don't know. But...
And Charlie the chess cat.
Oh, Charlie the chess cat, of course. Yeah. Charlie's asleep at the moment, but I'm hoping he will come along and join in the fun soon. But well, we've got a great day of chess, haven't we, Anna? I mean, the game's already started, but maybe we could give a very quick introduction to what matches and some of the players that have been going that's going to be happening today. I mean, to start with, a quick look. We're doing the Eastern Division. So if we bring up the world map now, the Eastern Division is all the teams in orange. And you can see there's quite a wide range of countries, isn't there, Anna, on that map? So
that is correct, Simon. We've got 2 Indian teams, 2 Norwegian teams. By the way, that's where I am currently. Also a team from Estonia and another one from Riga. And then we have the Armenia Eagles and the Volga Stormbringers. So it's a very mixed group, different temperatures in these countries. And let's see how they are doing today. We've got 2 leaders so far in the group, Mumbai Movers and the Armenia Eagles.
That's right. I'm just bringing up the standings now, actually, so we can see in the standings there that at this moment in time, the Armenian Eagles, actually, who I think I tipped actually to do very well in this league, are running through. And just to let everyone know, the top 4 teams in each division qualify, don't they, Anna, to the playoffs? So, any team you particularly like to see qualify, Anna?
Well, it's just so difficult to say. This is our division, so I think we are rooting for all the teams to do well. But I think the saddest is for the bottom 2 teams, because it's not only about qualification, but the last 2 teams in every division will have to say goodbye to the Pro Chess League. So it's important to do very well. Even if you don't qualify, you should at least be on the 5th, 6th place.
Yeah, that's right. And well, okay, I mean, there's going to be some great pairings. I mean, looking at the team pairings today, if we go over there now, the top match has already started. The Norway Gnomes versus the Riga Magicians. The Gnomes have got an incredibly strong team, and if we have a quick look at the board pairings for the matches, I mean, okay, so we can see the Norway Gnomes have started, but a match I think we're going to be concentrating on a little bit today, Anna, is the second match, because you know who's playing, Anna? Who's playing?
Woof, Simon, this is... You want to say it? Shall I say it?
Shall I say it? I'll say it's the one and only Viswanathan Anand, and he is playing for his first time, I think, in the Pro Chess League, and he's starting in about 4 minutes. So you can see there he's playing board 1 for the Mumbai Movers. And what do you think of that, Anna? I mean, that's quite something. So
I think this is thrilling. As far as we know, Vishy has never played not only in the Pro Chess League but on Chess.com. So this is Vishy getting onto digital platforms, competing on Chess.com now for the Mumbai Movers. Very exciting day for India.
Yeah, certainly, and quite an exciting day for us as well, I think, to see the great Anand play, who just recently also became world champion. Some would say he should have retired. Clearly not, Anna. He's still got a bit of magic. And he
definitely should not retire.
Definitely not. I mean, he won the World Rapid Championships, and he played some great chess there, Anna. So I'm really excited to see how he gets on today in his match. Now, well, we'll dive into the action soon. I think we would like to see Anand's game, so that's going to start in about 3 minutes. At the moment, we can have a quick look at the Norway Gnomes versus the Riga Magicians. And it's quite funny today, Anna, isn't it? Because the Norway Gnomes, they're playing their B team.
Yes, it feels like a B team, although of course it doesn't mean that the players that are competing today for the Gnomes are not strong, but they have all the Norwegian Olympic players. So it's difficult to see a Gnomes without Magnus Carlsen and Arjan Tari, John Ludwig Hemmer.
It is. I mean, normally, let's just bring up the Gnomes, should I say, team that normally plays. And I'm just bringing up these great players, Carlsen, Hammer, Agdenstein, and this young player who's performed extremely well, even though his rating's very low. But the pairings today, none of those players are playing. Instead, you have Fresnere, Johan Solomon, Johan Sebastian Christensen, and Torbjørn Hansen. So it's a totally new team. But there's some very strong players there, Anna. Very strong players. And
it's a different strategy, in my opinion. So instead of having Magnus and all the other usual Gnomes, this time they have a Grandmaster on board 4. No other team can have a Grandmaster on board 4 because you can't make it with a 2500 rating cap.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably sneak me on because my rating's so low, but that's another story, Anna, you know. So I might be able to get on board 5 if there is a board 5. But anyway, so these things happen. And well, I mean, like you say, the games have started, and I think we'll wait for Anand to play because he's due to play any second now. I mean, there's so many games for us to keep an eye on. Please do say in the Twitch chat who you would like us to look out for. I mean, I think Anand is a natural choice. We will be keeping an eye on the twitch.tv chess chat mainly, and also on the Chess.com TV chat. So you can leave us your friendly and nasty comments, Anna, or do we just want friendly today?
Friendly. It's a family-friendly channel.
Okay, we'll keep it friendly today. So yeah, good stuff. And yeah, well, I mean, what are you looking forward to today the most, Anna, do you think, out of our matches?
Vishy, in one word. Yeah. I think we all want to see Vishy doing very well in the Pro Chess League, and as we mentioned, on digital platforms, because he has just won in Riga, the World Blitz, and he's just an amazing player. Now we want to see how is he going to do online. I'm pretty sure that he has played, by the way, but we might not know his handle, so maybe he's got a fake name and we don't know that he's been practicing on Chess.com all these months.
Yeah, quite possibly, and I can see he's now set up to play, Anna, and I think the game is off. We're there. So we have Johannes Hogg. Must be a great opportunity for this young Norwegian to face off against the great Anand with the black pieces. And he started with a very solid opening here. The Rogozing, which is becoming very popular, Anna. So these are the first moves that Anand has played on Chess.com ever. Should we do a little sing song for that, Anna? Do you think?
Definitely, it's a historic moment.
It is. It is. And you're over in Norway at the moment, aren't you? While we're talking about the young Norwegian player.
I am in Norway. I am in Oslo. So I'm basically probably a few kilometers away from both the Oslo Trolls and the Norway Gnomes. I'm looking forward to talking to the players these days, but so far I haven't seen them. They all play from home. Right.
So, but you're commentating on the unofficial 960 World Championship match, which sounds very exciting.
That's correct. Between Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura. By the way, Hikaru is going to play later on today.
Wow.
All the stars except for Magnus Carlsen are going to play today.
Wow. So Magnus is preparing hard. That's why he can't be playing today, I guess.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Or streaming. Those are the two options. He's either preparing or streaming.
He does do a bit of streaming now, doesn't he? He first ever stream the other day, which Chess.com did catch him, the world champion streaming. It's probably one of the only games or sports in the world, Anna, where the world champion can happily stream and play at the same time. I can't think of anything else where that would be possible.
So true.
Okay, and also names in the chat I'd like to say hello to. Well, obviously Chess Bay, who's a big supporter and helps out the Twitch chat. So big shout out to you, Chess Bay.
Hi, Chess Bay.
Hello, Chess Bay. Fun Master Mike, who is I've just escaped from in Gibraltar. Only joking. Fun Master Mike Klein, lovely guy in the chat as well. Anyway, what do we think about the position now, Anna? I mean, Anand's just doubled his pawns, meaning that his king hasn't got necessarily somewhere safe to move to now, because if it castles kingside, the king is going to be quite open over there. So, do you think Anand's doing okay here? Could we see an upset in the first game?
I think this must be theory, because Anand is playing so quickly that I'm pretty sure that he's got all these variations analyzed. And I would expect a draw. First game, solid draw, and then he will start attacking everyone.
Wow, that's quite risky of you to say a draw there. Really, Anand's not going to win this.
Maybe I'm wrong. Especially first round, the board 1 is playing against board 4, so probably my prediction will be wrong. But so far, the position is quite solid.
It is quite solid. I mean, I suppose Black has the potential advantage of the 2 bishops. So, for example, if White were to exchange queens here, with queen takes c5, bishop takes c5, I'd prefer Black in this kind of position, because the 2 bishops are very useful, and this pawn structure, even though they're double pawns, can be quite useful because the f-pawn can come forwards and things like this. So if I was White, I wouldn't want to exchange queens here. Excuse me.
What do you think he shall play? So you must keep the queens on the board. But where would you place the queen?
Well, he's exchanged queens. So.
He had exchanged queens. I thought that he was still thinking. Well, that's just.
It looks
now
risky.
I really think that Anand has got a good chance to win this. As you have pointed out, Black has got a pair of bishops, and now without queens on the board, the king is very nicely placed on e7. So suddenly, I really like this for Black.
I agree. Yeah, and. I do think this pawn structure, it's one of those pawn structures where in the middle game and opening you can see this sort of, this sort of congregated pawn around the Black king can be weak, but in the ending it'd be quite strong because these pawns slowly come forwards, combine with the king. So I think Anand is a little bit better here, I'd say. I prefer his position slightly. And now he's going for more exchanges with knight to e5. Bishop takes e5. But still, White is solid here. White is very solid, so there's a lot of work to do. Bishop d7? Can Anand get his bishop into the game? If he can, he'd be quite happy. Bishop d7 was played, and I'm keeping an eye again on the chat. And Andy Quibbler, Simon, how would you feel about commentating with Ben Feingold? It would be the happiest day of my miserable life. So, yeah. Well, I have to say, if I'm going to compare Ben to Anna, there's no comparison. No comparison at all. It just does. We won't even go there. So okay. So thank you for that question. Nice way to start off the show, Anna. So lovely.
It's important to start the commentary, Simon.
It is. It is.
On a high note, we've already talked about the most difficult topics, so it's okay.
Get them out of the way early. So
yeah.
And okay, well, going back to the position, the 2 bishops are now being exchanged off, but we can see that Anand's h5, he's using his pawns over here. And now there is quite a big weakness on g3. This pawn here, but I don't know, this still looks okay for White. I don't really like White's bishop, Anna. It doesn't look like it's got anywhere to bite on at the moment.
Yeah, and rook d1 I don't like that much. If now you will have to take care of the g3 pawn, you will soon have to come back to g1 with that rook.
Yes.
I'm amazed by how fast Vishy is playing. He's only on 14 and 20, so that means that he used only half a minute of his time. It feels a bit like he's been practicing bullet chess instead of rapid.
Do you reckon he realises the time control? Do you think he's missed out that the first one? he thinks it's a 5-minute game, maybe something like that. So
or maybe he just knows all this so much and he's so confident about his strategy. He either has seen these positions or he knows so much for sure what he's playing for that he wants to play at the moves very quickly. But I'm surprised. Like, look at these moves. King f6, king g6 immediately.
Very quick. He's playing extremely quickly. But I have to be honest, Anna. I mean, this position to me, I'm not sure I like the way he's played, because any ending if the rooks come off, all of Black's pawns are on light squares. meaning that...
Yeah, now he prevented the trade of rooks very quickly. It took him about 1 second to move the rook to c8.
I think
now back to d8.
Maybe you're going to be right. Maybe you should take the draw here. I think, you know, because if the rooks come off, Anna, those pawns are just so weak. The bishop, the light square bishop, would always attack them. Is he going to take a draw against the bottom board here? That'd be a shock. He's going for a draw, Anna.
I'm not very good at predictions, but it seems that this was actually...
It's a draw. You are amazing at predictions, Anna. Who would have predicted that? I would not have predicted that. That's quite... How did you do that, Anna? How did you do that?
I'm not happy that I predicted it because I really thought that he was playing for a win. I'm shocked. He hasn't used not even a minute of his time. But it seems that this variation is so solid, and maybe he thought that his opponent was playing very well then.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm a bit... I mean, okay. I mean, it's his first time playing, and he's getting used to time control. But, you know, you're outrating your opponent by some, I don't know, 300 points. And you spend 1 minute. He's got to get a bit more used to the time control, hasn't he, Anand, if he wants to score heavily for his team. I mean, I think the final position, he's certainly not better because all of Black's pawns are targets. I mean, he could even be a little bit worse in some situations. Yes. So that's a bit of a shock, though. A bit of a shock there. So.
It is. We liked his position. We liked his position after the trade of queens with a pair of bishops and the king on e7. We thought that he started having good chances there. He's the world rapid champion, so everything was on his side to win this game, we thought. But somehow...
Around this point, after
it would be interesting to know what he thought about this game.
Yeah, definitely. But okay, well, a slow start for Anand so far. Now, maybe we should go back to the Norway Gnomes because... at the moment, they are facing off against the Riga Magicians. And just to remind everyone about the, let's have a look, the standings at the moment. We can see that the Norway Gnomes are in third place and the Riga Magicians really need to get a victory today, don't they, Anna? I think in order to have a chance of qualifying. This is so important for them. So it's a big match for them. And have you got a particular game you'd like to see, Anna?
I let you choose because I'm still under this shock. What happened to Vishy? I'm wondering if it was his son playing and not Anand, but we have them in front of the cameras. It's impossible. It was him. It was him.
Did you think it was baby Anand was playing those moves? Do you really think they were moves from a baby, Anna? I'm starting some controversy now.
I don't know why he did not want to try or.
Okay.
We shall ask him later.
We will do. Okay, so we have hello to Matt Carr, who may be the one and only famous Matt Carr in the chat, arbiter extraordinaire. And Matt Carr has asked for Laurent Fressinet, who has been Magnus Carlsen's second, Anna, and he's playing with Black in this position.
So we are looking at Mr. Laurent Fressinet, who didn't do very well the last time he played. Now he's back. He didn't play before because his performance didn't really justify him being lined up for the Gnomes. And now he's back, and I guess he wants to prove that he belongs there on board one.
And this is certainly a game that well, you'd expect him to win, but he is the exchange up, and he's playing Anna Cantain. I don't know if I said that correctly, sorry if I haven't, but it's a game where he should be winning, and he's the exchange up. But I suppose the Black King is a little bit weak here with a pawn on f5. Potentially there could be, can White get an attack? I don't think so, but if White gets this rook in the game, rook to one of these two squares, you know, it can become a bit dangerous. I don't know, this is a bit messy, Anna. I'm not really sure what's happening here, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but the time situation is not favoring Anna, one of the couple of female players of today's round. I'm very happy to see each and every round several ladies competing, and this actually is the case where we have a married couple in the team of the Magicians. Wow,
okay, so Anna, and who's Anna's husband then?
I think he's not playing today, Tom's Cantans.
Okay, right, and I mean, I don't know, have you ever played, we were having a discussion in Gibraltar about, you know, playing your partner or something like this in a chess game. Have you, your partner's a chess player, Anna, have you ever played your partner in a chess game? You know,
yeah. But we never really played because he never wants to play. It's always a draw.
It's always a draw, okay. But that's probably best, yeah? I mean,
It's difficult. It's really difficult. I have the same situation with Sopiko. We are just two good friends. We don't want to play against the other. Do you have anyone with whom you have this relation that you would never want to beat that person or try to play for a win?
Ben Feingold, because I love him so much. But apart from Ben, I mean, I used to find playing my friends very hard. I've got a bit better at it now, and I don't know, not so much anymore. I mean, if I beat my friends, I'll buy them a drink afterwards, and if they beat me, they better buy me a drink afterwards. Is the normal way it goes, I think. So
that's fair enough, yeah. And you have many friends, so you would end up making 9 draws in tournaments if you had some kind of a
not sure about
special
that
condition with friends.
Yeah. So yeah, and well, King H8 played. I mean, okay. So what's happening? Should we have a look at some moves? What if I go? Is Rook F1? I've got to be careful of some Knight to F2 check. That's a bit of a cheeky move. So can I play? Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Well, Anna has played Rook to F1, covering this square, meaning that the knight on E4 can move. And also threatening the pawn here. So it's still looking quite good for Lauren after the exchange. F5, that's a good move. And that blunts out the bishop.
It, yes. It looked very dangerous. Both kings are actually wide open. But after F5, I feel like he's stabilizing the situation.
Yes, it seems that way. Oh, that wouldn't be a good move. And I suppose the critical test of this is if White takes with a rook on F5. So we can have a look at that. If Rook takes F5 here from White, is Black's idea to potentially take that one and then move the Queen to H4 because there are no good checks here? But this position is quite risky. I can go Bishop G5. This is the kind of thing which could go horribly wrong.
I thought he wanted to play Rook F8, like he sacrifices the F pawn so that he would be able to bring the other rook with tempo, and then once you move the bishop from H2, you are threatening back rank mate.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just try to get the rook into the game. So, well, let's have a look if this has been played. F5, and yes, you're right, Anna. You're thinking like the Frenchman at the moment. Great thinking. And Rook F8's been played.
It's good or bad that if last time he only scored 50%.
50% is still pretty good, though, isn't it? I mean, I'd be kind of...
I'm expecting more of Laurent because I had him on my fantasy team. That's why I'm so mad at him.
Oh, okay. And what can you explain the fantasy team? I know there's a lot of people probably watching this who are not sure what the fantasy team thing is, but what is the fantasy team?
Well, guys, if you don't know what fantasy chess is in the Pro Chess League, then you're missing out on $10,000 because that's what you can get from Greg Shahadi personally, turning up at your house if you win the fantasy chess competition. So
how much?
Every time.
Wow.
Every time there's a match. So today too, before the start of the match, you should fill out a form picking who will be the strongest player on each board in each division. And if you guess the 16 players, that's $10,000.
Wow. Okay, so you just need to pick the strongest team, the strongest player on every board. So,
yes, the one who will perform the best in relation to number of points, not rating performance.
So you only need to pick 4 players, is that right? Have I got this right?
In each division, yeah. So it's 16 players. It's not actually a mission impossible. It's not easy, but $10,000 for picking 16 names.
Oh, Anna, sorry to interrupt. Oh my words!
Sure. What?
Oh, Presene.
What on earth?
Go and have a glass of red wine, my friends. Oh my words.
I told you that I was not happy about Laurent in general, and now even worse.
Oh my words. That is what we were just talking nice and calmly, and
explaining the fantasy chess competition, and then he gets mated in one.
Oh no. Oh, Laurent. I mean, let's just repay that. I mean, that is such a shock already. In this position, I mean, it's crazy because Laurent is just winning here. I mean, he's the exchange up. Yeah. He can simply go queen takes queen when he's the exchange up with an easily winning position. Instead, and I don't know if this is I don't think this can be a mouse slip. He forgets that, I mean, this is quite a beginner's mistake. He forgets that after Queen to F6,
No way.
he falls for a mate in 1, Anna. That is, oh my words. What can we say about that?
I can't believe it. Do you think he wanted to play Queen F6, or it's a mouse slip and it was going to be Queen F7 at least?
I don't know. Should we give Lauren the benefit of the doubt? I mean, maybe.
Benefit of doubt. I would give him the benefit of doubt. He's a 2700 grandmaster, so let's say that he wanted to play Queen F7.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, this is so painful. Laurent Fressinet once again losing in the first round against a low-rated player. Of course, kudos to Anna for fighting so well. She was lucky in the end, but you need luck in chess.
It helps to have better luck, but I'm sorry, I can just picture Lauren now, and he's a very nice guy, but I can picture Lauren, like, you know, on his computer making that move and going, no, murd. I don't know what, murd? Is it murd? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they're using the M word.
I think so. But anyway, what a mistake. Fireworks already. So that is a big loss for the Norway Gnomes, and you can see that the Riga Magicians have now gone 2 points up in this match. So let's have a quick look at the other board, shall we, in the Norway Gnomes match, see what's happening. And we could go to Kovalenko, who's the top board, I think, for the Riga Magicians, and he's playing Torbjørn Hansen, a good friend of mine, actually, from Norway. Torbjørn was actually Anna was Magnus's first ever coach. Did you know that? A little bit of info. So
I know that I heard the name, but I wasn't sure if it was because of Magnus. So now you confirm that he was his first coach.
Yeah, I think so. It was quite funny. I remember Torbjørn, I met him when I was about 20, and Magnus must have been, I don't know, just in the womb still or something. He's very young, and Torbjørn.
Not even planned.
That's it. But I remember Torbjørn telling me, he said, I'm teaching this kid in school. His name is Magnus, and he's just unbelievable. And this is when Magnus just first started playing chess, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I've heard this before. And then look what's happened to Magnus since then. He's gone on to great things. But yeah, Torbjørn is a lovely guy, really nice guy from Norway who does a lot of great things for chess.
Lovely, but he's missing a piece.
Yes, that's always a pain.
That's a bit of a problem.
a little bit of a problem. But does he have enough compensation? I don't think so here.
Doesn't look like. You would need to place the queen on a8, but it's just not happening.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to sneak in. Queen b6, that stops it all, doesn't it? So
that's a killer. You either trade queens or your b7 pawn is lost. Well, in both cases, it will be captured. So this is basically game over.
So this is going to be 3-0 for the Riga Magicians. It's a very bad start for the Norway Gnomes. Incredibly bad start at the moment. Yeah, I mean, certainly Black is going to win this one, Anna. I think that's clear now. Queen and knight work very well together. And, white's a queen up. Nope, only for a second. So, okay, well, shall we look at the fourth game going on? Just to see.
Indeed, I'm curious if they can at least get a point on the remaining board.
Okay, well, this is looking. Let's have a look. We have here these three results, and this is the remaining game, and this is
up for white, but there's a pawn, an h2 pass pawn, to compensate for it.
Harry is doing a great job.
Not enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this should be okay for Black, but this is a key position at the moment. How strong is that pawn? I'm not sure. Because of course you want to get your rooks behind passed pawns. This is a key thing to do. And if that white rook can get behind the passed pawn, white is probably alright. That's why Black, I think, is going for rook h4 here, Anna. It looks a bit more dangerous, this position, for white than Black. I'd probably pick Black at the moment, which would be a whitewash if Black wins this one. So this is an important game, I think.
4-0 would be the result, and now it's a beautiful tactical motive after rook takes h7. He's planning rook h4, threatening to queen, h1 promotion, and discover checks with bishop c1, winning the rook on h7.
I didn't even see that one. So let's show that, Anna. Nice point. If rook takes h7 here, which is a move I'd probably play without thinking, rook to h4, And then if rook h1, Anna was pointing out, boom! Bishop c1. Can we hear a boom from you, Anna?
Boom!
Good stuff.
I need to practice my booms. I'm keeping it for Vishy.
You're going to keep it for Vishy's first win? Is that what we're going to...
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Now for draws, there's no boom.
No, okay. But that was a big boom. That was a very big boom. I liked it. Good stuff. You're a natural.
Thank you.
And okay, well, the position now, white very short of time as well. I know Johan is a very good blitz player, but Nixans is obviously doing a very good job here, and this is an ideal start. I think black should win this one. Aren't the pawns going to start rolling soon? Still a bit complex, but I would definitely take black here, Anna. Would you?
I would certainly take black. This is a nightmare to play as white. The only thing you can do is to prevent this h1 promotion, give some checks, but there's not much hope for white to actually do something active here.
No. And now the h-pawn has to be stopped here. But the problem is the Gary the g-pawn is marching. It's just coming down the board. So white has to get checking, but I don't think you can. Look at that g-pawn, Anna. It's 2 squares away from glory. White very short on time.
Gary's gonna do the job, and it's 4-0 for the magicians if this game is...
I know, just g3.
I can't 4-0. I mean, we have never seen in the Eastern Division 4-0, or like in general 4-0.
No.
That doesn't happen.
I mean, I think queening just wins here because you have bishop c7 to block any checks after the rook comes back. But okay, bishop c7 straight away, even stronger. And now there's going to be an extra... Yeah, I mean, the Norway Gnomes losing by 4-0 is just unheard of, I think, Anna. Oh, I don't know if he should allow that. Does white have some chances now?
Did he trick him? Oh,
Well,
but he doesn't...
King a6.
Now the king a6, the a7 square is covered. This is game over 4-0.
4-0, Anna. 4-0.
Unbelievable.
That is shocking. Absolutely
It
shocking.
is. It's even more shocking than the draw by Vishy in the first round.
I know. Well, okay, he's still playing on. I thought that was it.
Taking out the rook and promoting the other pawn. This is a massive score, 4-0. Now the magicians only need 4.5 points from the remaining 3 rounds to win the match.
Yeah, quite shocking, that one. So, and the winning score, is over. Obviously, there are, let me get this right, 16 games played in total. Is that right? I hope I got that right. Yeah, 16 games.
So once you get 8.5, you have won the match, and this is about winning the match. Of course, the more points, the better, but winning the match is what matters first of all. So 8.5 points. Now the magicians only need 4.5 left from 3 rounds, from 12 games, if my math is okay.
Yes, that's correct. 4.5 points. I mean, that's just a phenomenal start. And the Norway Gnomes did so well last year in this competition, didn't they, Anna? I mean, they are one of the favourites to excel. So that is a horrible start for them. Horrible start.
That is a horrible start. And you said that even though these players are strong, it feels like it's the team B of Norway Gnomes that is playing today. For now, the result is justifying what you have said, that this is not their normal lineup.
No, I agree. And, well, I mean, but they've still got an incredibly strong team. I mean, if we have a look at the board pairings very quickly, again, before we go to another game, the board pairings, you can see that the Norway Gnomes, okay, their average is only slightly lower than the Riga Magicians. Now, I believe the average normally has to be under 2,500, but if you have a female player, you get a little bit of extra leeway. Is that right in thinking? So
that is correct. It's 100 rating points.
Yeah. And now, looking at the other lineup, I mean, I just saw a very interesting game going on, which maybe we could go into. And we're going to go to the Armenian Eagles, who I'm going to show you the league table in a second. They are leading in this division, and they're playing the Volga Stormbringers, who have Dmitry Adriakin playing. And let's have a look at the standings at this moment in time. The Armenian Eagles up there, and the Stormbringers must win this match, mustn't they, Anna, to have any chance, I think.
Yeah, that's correct. Before, until week 3, the Stormbringers were on 0 points, but now at the Super Saturday, Super Sunday weekend, they have performed excellently. So it looks like they are not doing very well because they only have 1 point, but that 1 point they got this weekend. So the tendency is looking good for the Stormbringers. The Eagles and the Stormbringers were the top 2 performing teams at the Super Saturday. So from that perspective, these are 2 very strong teams that are also in form.
Yeah, and well, going over to one of the games that's going on, and we're trying to keep an eye, obviously, if Anand does start his next game, but we've got to wait for the first round to finish. The only round that's finished so far is maybe one of the biggest upsets. The Norway Gnomes losing to the Riga Magicians, with Lauren Fressinet falling for Queen H7, which was quite unbelievable. Checkmate, a mate in one, and that was crazy, wasn't it, Anna? Absolutely crazy, that one.
I still can't believe it, but now I understand why I will not have him on my fantasy chess team anymore. Laurent, this is just not what I'm expecting from you.
Is he on? Did you say he's on your team?
Not anymore, but I did put him on the team previously.
Oh,
well,
really?
we did, because my Twitch community is forming my team, so
okay,
we picked it before.
Oh, I like it. So you're getting help from the crowd, yeah? So
yeah.
Well, you should probably sack the crowd after that decision, shouldn't you? I would imagine.
I also would have picked Laurent because he's a nice guy and he's strong, so...
Okay, that's true.
He's unbelievable. Mate in one.
Yeah, I know. Quite shocking, quite shocking. So, going back to the game now, another sort of star that's playing here is Dmitry Adriakin from Russia, who's a very strong grandmaster from Russia, one of the elite players. And of course, he's playing someone who should be only an NM. What does that mean, Anna? Naughty master? Naughty master? NM? What is an NM? It's a national master, is that right?
No idea.
I think I prefer naughty master, naughty chess master.
I like your version of national master.
National master, that's it. So, national master, okay. And, well, it looks like White has some kind of attack with a pawn on e5, but it's not easy to attack without a light square bishop for White. In these kind of positions, you need a light square bishop in order to throw the queen down here. White doesn't have a light square bishop, so it should be safe for Black, and Black has the fantastic bishop on b7, which at some moment could well open up. White has a bit of extra space though, and it might not be that bad for White at the moment at all. Maybe even roughly equal, but I think Black is solidly placed here at this moment in time.
And he's playing very fast, so this must be still preparation of Mr. Andreikin.
Probably, yeah. He's probably had these kind of positions before, and Adriakin is a familiar face on Chess.com. He plays a lot of the Title Tuesday events as well. Queen to f8 now played, and maybe he's getting ready to play a move like d6 here, something like this, trying to break it open.
Yes, and to bring the rook, so now he's placing the queen on f8, which is not the usual square for your queen, but Black is lacking space, so he's doing his best to shuffle around the pieces. You need to bring the rook. Probably later you can simply offer a trade of rooks on the c file. What do you think would be here the next couple of moves of Black?
I think, if Black would be happy to exchange off pieces, so I agree with you, rook c8 is very natural, because, the only danger is White has a bit more space. So I think ending should be good for Black because of the two bishops, this bishop here. I mean, Black can also maybe consider playing f5. This is a move I wouldn't normally want to play because it weakens some light squares like g6, but White, as I said before, only has a bishop on the dark squares, not on the light squares. So White can't take advantage of the light square weaknesses. So I'd be considering rook to c8, d6, and maybe f5, these kind of moves to gain a bit of space. But I like Black's position, I think, at the moment. So, okay, knight d2 played. And White, on the other hand, might be just trying to get a knight into d6. Something like this seems like a good plan for White.
Yeah, he would love to, but I think he will struggle to get there. After knight c4, Black can play bishop a6. So if you can't do it from c4, however, you get two knights to d6. Yeah. You can't just play knight d6 now. So I agree with you that it would be very nice for White to have a knight on d6, but I don't think he will manage.
It's quite hard to achieve, isn't it, this one? So, yeah, certainly. And we were talking about stars that are playing, and I've actually, just for those of you, obviously we've got a lot of chess ahead of us today. Me and Anna are taking the Eastern Division, which has only just started, so we'll have a chance to talk about some of the other divisions, some of the other players as well. But I've actually got a list of some of the stars of international chess who are actually entered and have played so far in this year's Pro Chess League. So let's just have a look at some of these players. And I can see here that, sorry, I seem to have chopped your neck off in this camera angle. Sorry about that, Anna.
I don't need it.
It was not one of my best camera angles I've got there. But we can have a look at some of the big names that are going on there. And there's some major names in this list. Magnus Carlsen at the top, but it's just a who's who of the world's elite chess players, isn't it, Anna? Some really strong players there.
Yes, everyone is playing. So you see the top players in the world having their own teams. And there's so much team spirit in these teams. Like, for instance, Magnus Carlsen, I'm pretty sure that right now he's watching the matches. He's probably with the captain, John Ludwig Hammer. And yeah, I don't want to know what they are saying right now about their first round.
No, probably not many good things. I wouldn't have thought. So it's okay, but I mean, John Ludwig shouldn't be sitting behind his computer. He should be playing. What's he doing? He's on the wrong side of the screen, Anna. He's got to get well, maybe on the right side, because you've still got to sit behind the computer if you're playing. But it's an analogy. They're probably they're missing him. Missing him from the team at the moment. So it's I mean, they need to get a big score at this moment. And the game so far, well, all the pieces are getting exchanged off here, Anna, and I guess that's benefiting Dmitry as the game's developing.
With a pair of bishops, and then later trying to pick up one of those pawns.
Yeah, but it's still very hard to win this position. It is, yeah. There's a lot of work to do. Shall we go to another game? Let's have a look. And
yes, and later we can come back and see if Dmitry manages to squeeze out something from this endgame.
Yeah. So, okay, well, a game we can just bring up because we haven't looked at this match so far. We're trying to keep, all supporters of all teams as happy as we can. Not always easy to do, but this is a very interesting position. And this is, we got the Delay Dynamites versus the Estonia Horses. And, well, we have Grover, Sergey Grover from India, who's a Grandmaster. It's an all-Grandmaster clash, and he's playing kind of legendary Jan Elvist. We used to call him Elvis, but now he's just an Elvist. And I should stop singing, shouldn't I? That's not good. Not good at all.
Is that your composition, Simon?
I don't know what I was doing there, Anna. I was just don't let me do that again, please.
I loved it. I was just wondering if it was the inspiration of the moment.
I think so, but I really shouldn't be inspired like that again. It's worrying, very worrying. It reminds me of karaoke nights. Oh, so not good. But well, oof. Okay, I think black. I know. I don't know what to say now. Bringing back those karaoke moments from. Okay, enough of that. So, well, Elvis is in the house, and Elvis seems to be a piece up at the moment. I think is he a safe piece up? I'm trying to count. It looks like he has a piece for 2 pawns, but the 2 pawns are not particularly brilliant here. Not particularly brilliant. So I think Elvis is going to make a very good comeback here. I'm putting in too many Elvis jokes. I've got to be quiet about Elvis. Are you an Elvis fan, Anna? Do you like a bit of Elvis?
I do. The king.
The king.
And Mr. Jan Elvest is also being the king in the Pro Chess League. He's been the best performer on his board almost every week.
Wow, okay. Have you got him in your dream team?
I was very tempted to, but in the end I think I did not, and that's a mistake. Huge mistake.
Yeah. So is there any players in the Eastern Division? Well, who have you got in the Eastern Division on your sort of dream team? your 10,000.
Well, I was on the flight from Madrid to Oslo when I picked the players, so I'm not quite sure in the end who I picked.
Okay.
But I screen captured it because we were about to land, and I knew I had to finish it before the Wi-Fi goes off.
Okay.
So I rushed it a little bit, but maybe it will bring luck.
Well, that's the rock and roll life, you know, picking the team in the air, you know, just no time to do it before the Wi-Fi goes off, hitting another country, you know, that's the rock and roll chess life you're living there, Anna. So
so do you, Simon.
Well, not sure about, well, sometimes. So, but we think Black's doing well here. I think it's a piece up, and there's a rook coming here. I'm a bit surprised that Black did not go bishop to a6 just to take over the f-file proper, but maybe this is a move that's going to come. I think bishop a6 is a really good move, because then maybe he's going to play it now. You take control of the open line, the open f-file, which must be a good thing to do here. I suppose you might lose the pawn on e4 now, though, if you do it. If bishop a6, the pawn on e4 drops. And if I was white here, I'd be considering pushing Harry up the board. It looks very strange of Black to put the knight on g6. Why did the knight go to g6? Is there a tactic when knight takes e5? Is that the idea?
I think that's what he wants, yes, but now rook e8, is he preparing for knight takes e5? But that's a one-move threat if the knight moves away from d2.
Yeah.
Although in that case there will be no pressure on the e4 pawn. Maybe this is a very deep strategy. Get the knight away from d2 so that now you can move the bishop. Very
deep, yeah. But I like that move, moving the knight into c3. That's a nice maneuver, because you'll gain a bit of tempo on the queen. But
he's grabbing the a2 pawn. Like he doesn't mind. He's just going for those queenside pawns.
He's a pawn grabber.
It's a piece, and now there's not much for the piece.
What is it? Is there an infiltration? I mean, can we go in this position, queen d7? This is one move I'd certainly be considering to play. I attack the rook, I attack the bishop. I mean,
yes, what does he want to do after queen d7 with two pieces hanging? He must have an idea. If not, he wouldn't have taken on a2.
Can he just play rook to e7 and simply defend like this? Because the queen actually doesn't have any entry points. Black is very cunningly defending all of those points that the queen can come into. So I maybe just rook e7, Anna, is a good defensive move there.
I think that's what he wants, and it's a funny position where it feels like the back rank will be weak after you lift up the rook from e8, but those bishops are covering every square that needed to be covered. Now queen is6, and
well, I have to say, after queen a2, we've got to have our first shout out to my favourite pawn. After queen takes it, Harry, here he comes.
He's too late, I'm sorry to say, but Harry this time was late from the party.
Yeah, Harry, you left it too late.
Didn't turn up in time.
Yes, you left it too late. You left it too late. And of course, if the queen's come off, it's a whole piece. So I think we can move on now, can't we? I mean, this is a game where it looks like Jan Elvist is gonna get a victory. I would imagine here. But the Mumbai Movers, okay, they have now, even though Anand only drew. They've won the match, the first round of 4. So should we see if Anand is playing yet in his second game?
Yes, sure.
Let's have a look. And I guess his handle was just his name, wasn't it? I think.
No, it is Mumbai Mover 64, I think, or Mumbai Mover and then a number. I'm sure about that.
Let me know if you can see his game, and I'll try to keep an eye on it, because we want to see a bit of Anand action. Definitely. And while we do keep an eye out for Anand, I can put you back onto this is another game, and this is Torbjorn again, Torbjorn Hansen. So
Vichy has just started his game.
Perfect.
His white against Lars Oskar Hoge.
Yeah. So are we expecting more from this? Well, I think we've got to expect a win from Anand now, haven't we? Is he going to play so quickly again?
I think he can do it. Now he will. We don't know what happened to him in the first round, but I'm pretty sure that he has prepared for today's match and he's in fighting spirit.
Yeah. And we should remind everyone in the Twitch chat as you're watching this that if you enjoy the community that has been created here on the twitch.tv chess community, what better way than to be part of it than by subscribing to the channel. And if you do that now, I've actually captured it, so you will get your name mentioned floating above our heads. So I'm waiting for someone to give it a go, Anna. I hope I've captured it right. So do subscribe to the channel. It gives you a chance to look at old videos from various people who have streamed here. So it's well worth doing at the moment. Who's going to subscribe? I hope I've captured it so it subscribes. Yes, there we go. We have someone doing just subscribe. Who was that? The name is too small for me. My eyes.
Well done. I also missed to see it. But now you will have those special emotes. I think it was Gnomes, but I also couldn't read it correctly. Thank you for subscribing. Now you've got those really cool Chess.com emotes.
That's right. Yeah, ignoble, wasn't it? So that's great. So yeah, so you can, Greg's saying he should unsubscribe and subscribe. I can see. I maybe shouldn't have mentioned that, because
don't do that.
We could suddenly get 100 people subscribing just to drown out the sound of my voice, maybe, Anna. But
Greg, you are giving bad ideas to very nice and fair people in the world.
That's right. So, and it's all good. Okay, well, going back to the game, we have King's Indian defense with white playing the so-called Panov variation, which is g3 and bishop g2. And white often plays this when white doesn't want to allow black the normal kind of attacking chances black can get in the King's Indian defense. And it's a more positional way to play, Anna, isn't it? This line with the Panov. Have you ever played the Panov as white? Are you an e4 player or d4? You're
e4, and I have played the Panov. I didn't think it fit my style because I don't like isolated pawns that much. I prefer to play against them. But yes, now it's. But once again, what I see, because I stopped because I was looking at the clock, and Vishy is once again very quick, and he just chops off this pawn on b5.
No fear at all there. Yeah. Also, thank you to Abjuga. Some of these names, why can't you just be called Fred or something? Then I could say thank you, Fred. Abjuga for subscribing as well. This is looking more like a Benko now, though, with this gambit of the pawn which black is doing. And
yes, I was wondering when I switched back where was the Panov, but maybe I missed that part.
I think it was started as Panov, but it looks a bit like a Benko, where black has given up a pawn to try and get the open A and B files. Quite a very risky way to play against someone as strong as Anand. I'd imagine Queen A5 is correct here, because well, okay, this is also a good move to release the bishop on G7. This is one of black's main pieces in this kind of opening. It opens up towards the queen side, and this knight can maybe come around here. So black gets quite a lot of play in these positions generally. But I'm sure Anand knows how to face this. Maybe a move, I'd want to play b3 if I was white here, followed by bishop b2. But maybe b3 runs into queen a5 here. A counter strike against c3. Maybe this
I like queen a5. Good idea after b3. So bishop f4, which he plays once again fairly quickly. Although I think in this game he has already used more time than in the previous game in total. So maybe here he was slightly surprised by his opponent. But I'm pretty sure that he prepared against his opponents. Not just the time control and playing online, but he also must have seen the openings that these Norwegian young talented players play often.
Do you think so? Do you think he'd actually prepare, spend that extra time to go the extra mile?
I think he did, because he played so quickly in round one that I felt, or he just knows everything. Probably that's another answer, that he knows all the openings so well that he doesn't need to spend time, even if he didn't prepare it for today.
Yeah, that's quite possible as well. I mean, he is a great player. He is, as we said earlier, the current rapid play world champion, Anand, and he had a great event recently in the Rapid and Blitz World Championships.
Yes, and on the podium in both formats. So
yeah.
he won the Rapid, as you mentioned, and he got a bronze in Blitz. That means that altogether, if there was a combined championship, he would have been the world champion combined in Riga.
I must say that I'm still very impressed with the way the young Norwegian player here was playing, Lars. And I met Lars a number of years ago at Gibraltar, which I've just come back from. I played him in a blitz game there, where he played a kind of Benko against me and it ended in a draw, but I was very lucky to get the draw. And he's just one of the number of these young and strong Norwegian people who are very good at blitz. So I like the way he's playing, though. He's going for it here. He's sacked a pawn, and he's not showing any fear, Anna. So this is a brave way to play against such a strong player.
I like how he's playing, and if it's true what you have mentioned, I think he is a fearless player who's just going for the former world champion, like if he was just another player. And maybe that's the correct attitude. If you want to score, for sure that's the correct attitude.
Yeah, I totally agree. And maybe even, I mean, the move you normally want to play is c4 here. I'm just wondering if he's considering this. The only issue with playing this move, which tries to open up more lines on the queen side, is that it gives away the d4 square. So maybe black doesn't want to play this because of knight d4, and you have to be very careful of that knight slipping in to the c6 square. So unless you have a good answer to knight d4, you may want to hold off on the c4 move. So black needs to find a concrete idea in this position. I mean, I kind of like c4, but I'm not sure if we can meet knight d4 there, Anna. Do you see any other ways that black can play this position?
I would be tempted to push c4, but I don't like the knight appearing on c6. So
yeah,
how do you prepare for that? Can you? I'm not sure what are the standards moves in this position because I don't play with any color. I'm a little bit lost at trying to find a plan. What does normally black do here if you can't push c4?
It's a good question. I think he has to try to get c4 in. This is the normal idea. I'm wondering how bad it is after knight d4. I mean, normally you don't want to give away this bishop, the dark square bishop, because your king needs that bishop as a bodyguard around it to give it protection. But maybe in this case you can play it, but I wouldn't want to do this as black. Even though I win my pawn back, you suddenly get hit with ideas of bishop h6 and checkmate threats. But I don't know, maybe something like f6 is playable. Maybe black can go for this, and then black can say, I've got enough counterplay on the queen side, this kind of thing, to keep the game going. Has he played a move? He hasn't played a move yet.
I'm still thinking. So this is a critical moment where either c4 works, or if it doesn't, it might mean that black's position is not that good. Though I don't see any problems in his position. The only thing is that I don't know what can he play.
That's right. I mean, the other thing I suppose you could try to do is do something like knight b5 to try to swap off some pieces to attack a2. So if we go knight b5, hitting the knight on c3, let's say we have an exchange on this square, and sometimes these endings are even okay for black. Bishop takes b5, and we could get some ending like this, where again black is trying to say, if I can win one of your pawns on the queen side, then I'm going to be better. So that's another possible way that black could approach this position, I think.
Well, after a couple of minutes of thinking, he actually advanced c4, and now we shall see what is his idea after knight d4. He's taking the knight on d4, surprising to give up that dark squared bishop, but it's very concrete. So he has been calculating this variation.
We got some predictions right so far. I'm sure it's going to go wrong very quickly.
You did it, well, Simon. I
didn't really believe it, but I was a bit worried. But I think you've got to try to play the sharpest line if you can, and this is the sharpest.
So he won the pawn back with this trade on d4, giving up the dark squared bishop. But those dark squares are very weak at the moment. Mate in one, I guess he will not blunder. But you have to really play either f6 or knight to f6 or knight to e5. Maybe that's the most active way of preventing queen at g7 mate.
If Fresnay was playing black here, would you be a bit more concerned? Sorry, sorry, Laurel. Sorry, I'm only joking. So I don't know. No, I'm only joking. Fresnay's a very strong and lovely person. But
yes, he is.
He is.
But not today.
He had a bad first round, didn't he? So yes. So queen g7, this is the problem. I think f6 should be played, but the kind of problem with f6 is you really weaken e6 and e7, and now maybe I can even flick my bishop into these squares, and it seems like white is generating some kind of attack here in this position with bishop h3. But black does have a lot of pieces over on the queen side, which could create some confusion on that area of the board. So it's not entirely clear. I mean, bishop h6. Okay, he's gone knight e5. That's interesting, Anna, because...
And what does he want to do after f4?
I guess after f4, he needs to kick the queen away, because we're not going to do...
rook b4 or a move, that he has to chase the queen away, but we will not see that. I guess f4 was simply not good, because black had options like rook b4.
Probably rook b4, so knight e4 has been played instead. And this is a very dynamic position. I mean, we're wondering if Anand can get his first victory, but I'm really impressed with the way that Lars is playing. Because knight c2, boom! Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Isn't that a move? Is that a move?
Did Vishy just blunder knight c2?
Is knight c2? I don't know if black's played it. Isn't knight c2 possible? If rook takes c2, queen takes e1. Has he played? He hasn't played knight c2 yet, but that looks like he has played it.
There he goes, knight c2, winning an exchange against the former world champion.
Yeah, we need to hear.
Or we were just too excited. No, but it's still. What is okay? If you take, then after knight takes, the b3 rook is hanging as well.
Oh, he's seen a bit more.
We have missed it. We were too excited about this turn of events.
Oof. Oh well, I mean, let's have a look. So
what's going on here?
But this is still probably fine for black, because I could have taken on g2, but this line also, like we said before, these endings are normally all right, but I suppose the difference is you don't have the dark square bishop. But I'm very impressed still with the way that black is playing this. We did think he was lost there, white, Vishy. Still could be trouble after bishop takes e2. I mean, it's a pawn.
Yep.
Grab the pawn.
It is a pawn.
He's grabbed it. So this is a baptism of fire for Viswanathan Anand at the moment. I mean, he might still be okay, but black is playing a fantastic game. He's playing a bit quick though, isn't he, Anand, Anna? He hasn't slowed down yet.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm really surprised by his time management. Maybe he thinks it's better to be up on the clock, and especially in this case when your opponent starts to have a good position, at least you have time as your ally. As Magnus Carlsen said, you need time as your ally. Although in this position, I would rather have a better position and less time.
Definitely. And, knight f3 I think is a very simple way to play. Okay, white has the two bishops, but I still think that f5 is coming, and then bishop f3. I mean, f5 here, what do you play? Because then I've got bishop f3 and I'm winning another pawn. If f5 is played here, f5 looks very natural. He hasn't played
bishop
f5.
d3.
Okay, and that's a pity. I think f5 was very strong, but he's a pawn up here. He's a pawn up, and the king can probably sit safely on e8, defending the threats. The pawn on d5 is very, very weak. Maybe also you can put the king on f7 and just try to target this pawn. Just don't move your rook here. Don't play rook a2. Don't do that. Don't do a Fresnay.
Don't do the Lauren.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to be in so much trouble, aren't we, Anna, if we see this?
I know, and there's going to be a replay of this video.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Don't clip it. No. Don't send it to Laurent. We love you, Laurent.
We do. We do. We don't want to get in trouble. Okay, but I mean, this is looking. I don't see Anand winning this one. I mean, will he draw? Do you think he'll get a draw?
I would predict a draw. I don't think he's going to lose it, but I also see this position very far from having a chance to win it. He's got more time, that's true, but it's a pawn, so I would expect a draw.
Sorry,
somehow.
I was just trying to find very quickly Laurent's game. I know we'll come back. We will come back. Don't worry. We'll come back to that game in a second. But I'm just trying to remember Laurent's handle is. What's it? Can you remember his handle? It's. Ooh, I can't remember his handle now.
I know it, but I forgot it. Let me help you.
Okay.
I forgot his name, and I had looked at his handle so many times that now I'm.
Okay, we'll try to find. We'll keep an eye on Laurent Fresnay to see if he can can bounce back. But at the moment, young Lars is playing a great game. Now something like rook b7 would be a good move, because the threat is bishop takes d6.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's Zlatan 56 and Laurent, I believe, is doing very well.
Okay, so sorry.
For now.
His name is what? Sorry, it's
Zlatan.
Oh, okay,
56.
sorry.
He has just won.
Okay, good news. So let's keep it on Vishy's game. So where are we? There we are. And okay, so Laurent has just won. Do let us know in the chat when we get a chance to have a look if there's any games you'd particularly like us to look at. Obviously, we're sticking with the legendary Anand at the moment, which I think's a logical choice. Should we stick with him? Should we stay with this game, Anna, do you think?
Yes, please. Now he can just simply take the bishop on f4. It's a rook endgame with a pawn up and a very weak pawn structure for white, so it's a risk-free position for Lars.
Yeah, and I think f5 maybe. Or do you need to play f5? I'm not sure, but this is like you say. I mean, if Magnus Carlsen, maybe this is Magnus Carlsen in disguise here. He's playing like Magnus Carlsen. He's outplaying the guy in the ending. The guy, who's the guy? It's the rapid world champion. He's playing an amazing game here. An amazing game. So really, really good play from Lars at the moment. We're seeing a lot of upsets so far, aren't we? Lots of upsets currently in the Eastern Division here. But how does he win? How can he win this position? How do we actually win this structure? I think we go e6? Can we just play e6? Something like this, or e5? So I want to maybe.
He doesn't want to push yet. I think he's keeping that option because he can always push e6. But for now, he's trying to bring the king to c5 and see if he can win the d5 pawn. It looks like, although the e7 pawn will always be weak, so you can't really wander to c5 with a king.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'm not sure. As you say, e7 is very weak. But now he's got his rook behind a pawn. And
has he tricked Rishi with this king moves and getting the rook to d3?
Well, it means that Vishy has to guard his pawn from the side now. So, which is a bit less passive because it's only got 2 squares that it can stick on to guard the pawn.
Yep.
But black still has this task winning. If I was black, I'd go f5, put my king on f6, then go e6. Because I think the pawn on f5 really destroys all of white's pawns, and I simply get a passed d pawn then. So that's how I'd be trying to win this. So I think I want to play f5, king to king here and go e6. I'm just wondering if white should be playing f5 in this kind of position at some point. Maybe there's not a rush to do this, but I think e6 has to be played at some point to make progress. In this position.
I like your plan, and I think that's what he's going to do. There aren't many other options. So
something
f5.
like sorry, Anna. Something like f5, king f6, and then at some point we can maybe try to play e6. Possibly this is a winning attempt here, and I'm trying to get a passed d pawn, and we can advance in this position and play for a win there. So that's a risk-free way of playing, but there are other ways. And what did he go for in the game?
Well, he has played a few moves that are basically just testing Vishy. How is he going to react? He's not going to repeat moves. Now he's pushing f5, but that's what you can do when you've got the advantage deck. You can. It doesn't matter if you win in 10 or 30 or 40 moves the position. You can just go back and forth, play around. Just don't repeat 3 times. That's the only thing.
It's nearly a position of zugzwang here. If I go rook b5, rook a4, you have to try to defend with your rook on d1 then, don't you? So. This
Correct.
is a possible way I could try to win. I mean, is g5 the wrong idea? He's gone g5, getting rid of the weak pawn on f4. I'm not sure I'd want to do that as black, but still good winning chances here, I assume, for black.
Would you play f4 here, check, and then improving the king?
I think I would, because I'd force the white king back here. I mean, one interesting line is f4. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I'd want to play the king.
But he can. Maybe he thinks he can do it later. He can also play, but it's not the same in this position. I like that for the previous move. It looked like a very active way of playing.
I agree. I also agree. I mean, king e5 has to be met by rook to b7. Generally, when you're defending rook and pawn endings, as white is here, white's a pawn down, the more pawns that can be exchanged, the closer to a draw you get. So you want to be exchanging pawn for pawn. If you're trying to win, you want to keep the pawns on the board. And it does look like white has got rid of... Okay, so he's gone for your plan, Anna. He's obviously listening to you in the broadcast. Naughty boy, naughty boy. He's hearing your words. So he's gone for it. And can he try to play something with... I'm wondering if he can get his king into g3 eventually. Well, okay, this has been stopped by king h3. Can he try to do that? I mean, what about rook d3 here? How's that going to work out? He's gone rook d3.
I like it that he has just played it. So he's giving up the e7 pawn for the f pawn, which is much more important. In this position, you create an f4 passed pawn. Vishy defends it with king g2, but this is looking very bad. What if king h4 and check and king g3?
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. King h4. Let's have a look at this. Then let's say take here, check, king f1
check.
And king g3. I like this. This is a very nice way to play when you're just trying to take the pawn and your king and rook are coordinating fantastically. I mean, I think if anyone had to guess the colours in this game, they would be guessing they'd be guessing that Vishy was probably playing with black here, wouldn't they? I mean,
it does look like that. It does look like that. Although now black is a bit, once again, going back and forth. Now king f5.
I think he should have taken his chance to maybe have got his king to g3, black there, as Anna recommended. Anna, you're an endgame expert. I'm learning this the more I'm commentating with you.
I'm not an expert, but I like endgames, and I thought that was a good chance to get the f1 and activate the king. But I think this position now is getting close to a draw, because I don't like that the black king didn't manage to get to g3. The pawns are getting off of the board, the e pawn for the d pawn. I think Vishy will draw this.
I think so, yeah. I mean, the last line, let's just say, where actually Anna in this position we had this chance here, and after a couple of checks, the black king went backwards. Now, you should always try to play as actively as possible, and Anna recommended king h4 with the idea of checking and coming to g3, and this may have been the winning opportunity that black missed, because if the king can get to f3, you create a very dangerous passed pawn, and you may just be winning both of these pawns. Going back to the current position at the moment, there's still a bit of work to do for white, but white so far is holding his own. But Anand is still yet to get his first win, and he's not going to win this one. Look at the score in the Norway Gnomes versus the Riga Magicians, Anna. They're getting crushed. The Gnomes are getting absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Oh.
In just 2 rounds, the Magicians already have almost the desired 8.5 points.
Yeah, I mean, great news for Riga Magician fans there. They're playing fantastic. They only need 1.5 points from 8 games to win.
That's just insane. We have never seen anything like this. It's not in the Eastern Division, not in any division.
I mean, I think their B team, I was saying their B team's very strong, but they're struggling today, aren't they? I mean, if you just, before we come back to this, because a bit of playing about in this game, let's have a look at, this is the Norway Gnomes versus the Riga Magicians. Now, looking at the team, personally, of the Norway Gnomes, looking at those players, Fressene, Johan Solomon, and I mean, going on, they're very strong players. I'm amazed that they've only scored 1 point. Maybe the hero of the team for the Riga Magicians must be Anna, because Anna is outrated by a lot, and she must have scored 2 out of 2 so far. Obviously, it's good to be called Anna. Obviously, this is the key thing to remember. If you want to be a good chess player, Anna is the way to go. So, is that the key? Is that where we all went wrong in life?
Well, I think it's also good to be called Judith and Yifan.
Yes, that's also a good point. So what are the chances here? I mean, it looks to me, after f4, more pawns getting exchanged, that this is just a draw. It's a dead draw now. Dead draw. They can agree a draw here. So bit of a save there for Anand. Draw agreed. But Anand had to work for that. He had to really work hard for that draw. So, yeah.
2 draws so far for Vishy Anand. I have him on my fantasy chess team.
Oh dear.
He's such a strong player. He's a legend, and he did so well in Saudi Arabia at the World Rapid Blitz. So I thought this was the safest bet I've ever made, that he would do the best on board one in the Eastern Division, but it's not happening.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, it did look like that was probably going to be the case, because Anand is just such a great player. But he's had 2 draws. I think he might be finding it hard to adjust to this time limit at the moment. Possibly,
It seems.
he's moving a bit quick. Possibly moving a little bit quick.
Well, if we just, I don't know if you're still. You still have it, I think.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to point out that the moment that this game finished, on move 74, he still had 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You start with 15. So it really seems like he's playing way too fast. Not that we want to judge the world champion and he knows a lot more than we do, but it's surprising that he is playing so fast and at the same time not doing his best.
No, I totally agree. I mean, but also not to take anything from Lars there, who played a fantastic and aggressive game at the same time. Okay, well, we can look at the scores. Not quite the halfway mark yet. The halfway mark for the first match, where it looks like the Riga Magicians are just storming ahead. The Mumbai Movers versus the Oslo Trolls, even though Anand is not performing as well as most people expected, they are still ahead, and the horses and the other 2 matches very close there, Anna, at this moment in time.
Yeah, this 7-1 is just insane.
Yeah.
I have no words for this because it has never happened, and if it had happened, I wouldn't have expected the Gnomes to lose in such a way. Of course, they still have a mathematical chance to make a comeback, but this is almost impossible in practice.
Yeah, it's almost over, I'd say, to be honest, and quite shocking. And I think now, before we move on to another game, should we have a little discussion about the prizes? We can bring up the prizes for this, and we can talk about the world map and how this tournament is going to progress. So the world map I'm going to bring up now, and all the orange dots, if you're colorblind, I'm sorry, that's not our problem. All you're probably seeing is dots, and you're missing out on some ginger magic as well, so it's that's tough luck for you. But we're doing the Eastern Division, which is the orange dots, and then we have the green dots are going to be shown straight away after us, and we go across the map right to left, and there's going to be qualifiers going through to knockout stages and then through to the final in the end. And of course, Anna, it's a day of chess today, so after us we've got loads more commentary going on.
Definitely, every hour a top player will be playing so many teams from all over the world, and these are the strongest chess teams currently playing online. They had to qualify for this event, so it's not just anyone can play. They had to be qualified for this year's Pro Chess League. Just a quick report from our league commissioner, the creator of the Pro Chess League, Greg Shahadi, who's listening to Mr. John Ludwig Hammer's stream at the same time. And he's saying that Johann Sebastian has promised 2 wins for his last 2 games. And John Ludwig is planning to give a very tough but inspiring halftime speech.
So John Ludwig is going to give. He hasn't given a very good, inspiring speech.
He will have to give a speech to his team.
Did he do the speech before the match, Anna? Do you know if John did?
Yeah, maybe it would have helped more.
Maybe if he did do a speech before, I recommend he doesn't do any more speeches, just in case. I mean, whatever he said, it wasn't quite Mel Gibson Braveheart, was it? I don't know what it was, but no, I don't know. John Ludwig, maybe just be careful about that speech. I'll be a little bit worried. Anyway, they've got a real uphill task now, haven't they, to come back, and the Riga Magicians are a very strong team. They're very good, so it's not going to be. Well, I think they've lost the match. I mean, it's only 1.5 points.
Yes. If we bring up the standings for a moment to see how the Magicians were doing before this round, so the Gnomes had a point more than the Riga Magicians. It seemed like this pairing wasn't the toughest for the Gnomes, but this round is proving it completely wrong.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, it's actually the Gnomes there favourites to beat the Riga Magicians. And the Riga Magicians, if they want to go through to the next round, they really did need to get a win, and they've done that. It seems they're going to do that today. And well, the Oslo Trolls are coming out fighting, but it looks like the Mumbai Movers are a very good team in this league as well. I mean, especially with Anand. I expect Anand will pick up a gear very soon. Okay, well, let's also have a look at the prizes. So we haven't discussed the prizes in too much detail, so we'll move over to the prizes now. And this is the updated prizes for this year. I can't see the $10,000. What's it? The bracket prize, is that on there, Anna?
Yeah, that's apart from it, because this is for the players, and the fantasy chess is more for the fans. So those of you guys watching right now, that prize is for you. It has been created for you so that you can also participate in the Pro Chess League in a more active way. Since you will have your 16 players, you will be rooting for those players even more than normally. And it really feels a lot closer. Even for the commentators, for instance, there's a huge fight between us. Whose team will do better?
There is. I mean, there's some serious prizes on offer here, but I do recommend anyone who is in the twitch.tv chess chat, on the Chess.com TV chat, get involved with picking a team. You've got a free shot at getting $10,000, and all you have to do, if we have a look at the website, you should all be checking out. And the thing that's going on with this league, it's going to be improving every year. And people were asking for a website which they didn't have last year, but now, if you simply go to Pro Chess League, improving every year, and people were asking for a and okay, but I think I showed the website. I didn't realise it was streaming us live there. But Pro Chess League, so it's quite funny to hear my own voice. That was a bit freaky. But that's the website to go to, just prochessleague.com. And if you go there, then you'll see you can enter the bracket. There's loads more information about this league. Okay, I saw someone asking, do I have my own Twitch channel? Well, both me and Anna do. So my one is twitch.tv/gingergm. You can go and check it out. And Anna, your channel is?
Just like my Twitter handle, Anna_chess. That's my Twitch channel. And shout out to one of the biggest Twitch streamers in the chess world, if not the biggest, Eric Hansen, the Chess Bros. They are here with us in the chat on Twitch.
Good stuff. So, and I think they'll be playing later today as well, the Chess Bros, in an important game.
Definitely. With the Dutch Chess Bros today, Robin van Kampen and Jordan van Forest.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, well, maybe now we should keep an eye on the Norway Gnomes match, because that could be over. And let's have a look now at a game where the top board for the Riga Magicians, Igor Kovalenko, is playing with the white pieces, and he is a very good and strong blitz player, and he's playing against a very talented Johan Solomon. But this is a game which, if Igor manages to win, the Riga Magicians are only half a point away from the winning score. So current position, white has just played a3 here, and they can kind of relax a little bit, the Riga Magicians, can't they, now with such a high score so far?
Yeah, but maybe that's the danger when you relax. What do you think they should be doing? Just forget that they only need a point and a half.
Yeah, they could relax, but it's also nice to play. Maybe some people prefer playing under pressure, and other people like kind of they just want to play with no pressure. A bit of reggae style chess, and we'll wait and see here. But this, I mean, if Johan can get a result from this game here, it will be a big thing for the Norway Gnomes. I'd imagine, if he can get a win, that's a massive thing. But they need to up their game a little bit, don't they, so far? Bishop h6 being played, with ideas of going g6 and maybe f5 here, Anna. Do you think some counterplay like that?
I think that's what he wants, and Johan is the player who promised 2 out of 2 in the remaining games. So let's see if he is living up to his promise to Captain John Ludwig Hammer.
I think we might have 2 Johans in the team, though, do we? I mean, there's a lot of Johans in Norway. Let's have a look. We have, we have.
Oh, that's true. Sorry, at first I said the other one. Yeah, I meant Johan Solomon, that he promised to win his last 2 games, but I'm pretty sure everyone else is trying to do the same. That's their only chance.
It's their only chance. They've got to go for it, haven't they, now? So, certainly. And knight d7 played. Well, I mean, I think Black's position is okay. If he can get his knight into c4, that would be a big hole on the queen side. You always want to look out for outposts for your pieces, and moving this knight somewhere like into that square is a good idea. Bishop b3 has now been played from white. White has this fantastic square on d5. This is a major outpost for white's pieces, because this square here, it cannot be attacked by a pawn. Black can't attack it with a pawn with c6 or e6, so the knight should be able to live there forever, and that's really white's main advantage in these positions. Black can take and win a pawn now, but it looks very risky to do so. I mean, you could take here, something like queen takes, then take on c3, winning the c3 pawn. Does that win the pawn? I mean, this diagonal towards f7 is really strong. I don't know if I like that, but at least Black is covering the c1 square, so you also have control of the c file. I mean, it's a potential way to play that. Just get rid of the piece on d5. And has he played it? Well, he has played it. He has actually won the pawn on c3. I suppose it's a pawn, Anna. Pawn is a pawn after all.
A pawn is a pawn.
And the bishop is very good. This bishop is very good, because it means Black can try to go queen b6, rook c8, and take control of the file. I think Johan is playing a great game so far to keep them in the match at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's doing well, but there's another game we need to have a look at, because Grandmaster Robert Hess is also with us, and he's suggesting that the game between Arthur Snakejans and Laurent Fressinet is very much Simon-like.
Simon-like, okay. Well, let's have a look. What, they're losing pieces everywhere again, or okay? Well, we have Fressinet with the black pieces, and let's pick it up from move 11, where Queen d7's been played. Black is trying to get castled in this weird position. D4, pawn takes d4. That is a knight. That's a knight out. That is a real strong knight out. And now knight to e5 here, Anna, and Black is threatening to capture the knight on e6. If the knight retreats somewhere, like knight takes d4, I guess Black can now castle, and Black will be absolutely fine. If Black can castle, Black is happy. But does Black have any other options after this knight to e5 move?
Well, knight takes g7 has to be played, I guess. So what else can White do here?
Knight takes g7 looks very normal, doesn't it? Just to give a check and capture a pawn. He's taken it. Yeah, he's taken on g7. That's got to be the right way to play. And king f7. And now, will that
back to f5? He doesn't have many options, although he either moves the knight or he should attack the e5 knight. Either c takes d4 or f4. A knight f5 looks like a normal move.
It does, just to move the knight back here. I guess if pawn takes d4, Anna, then Black might be able to flick in the intermezzo knight to f3 check to try to weaken the black king.
Yes.
When you have to take it, and this position, the white king could be a little bit weak. I don't know, a little bit weak. So
it looks very ugly for sure. Both kings are
a bit ugly. A bit ugly, yes. So ugly kings. It's ugly king day today.
And matey ones.
Yes, he's gone knight to f5. So it's equal on material here as well. But whose king is weaker? Because maybe Black is dreaming of getting an attack down the g file. Rook g8, knight to f3. I mean, losing the pawn on g7 does weaken the black king, but it also gives Black open lines to attack on. The problem is, if you ever go rook g8, then knight h6 check is sort of game over. So I think it would be the black king that's in more trouble here, even though white's a lot more developed. Is d3 a good move coming up? If we want, well, is d3 a move?
I'm looking at d3 as well. I'm expecting you have to go queen b3 there if you don't want to lose the f5 knight. And after that check, can he try to trade queens at least, or I'm getting into trouble on the e-file?
I think knight to h6 is the...
blundering the queen with knight h6. Yeah.
It's a biggie. It's a biggie. It's a sneaky check, that one, isn't it? That knight is just causing havoc everywhere.
I'm doing the Laurent, but not with mate. It's just the queen.
we've got a new verb now, doing the Laurent. Oh dear. Oh well. If he does blunder his queen here as well, it's gonna be doing. It's gonna basically have a new chess terminology after him. And I think it was a mouse slip. These things happen, don't they? So of course.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And Viswanathan has started his next game. Shall we have a look at that? Or maybe we can tune in a bit later after the opening?
I think I don't mind. I mean, this game's very exciting. We could stick with this one and keep an eye on Anand's game in the background. So I'll just try to find the game while we wait for developments here. So let's...
So far it's very traditional. It's an Nimso-Indian.
Okay.
I think we should check that a little bit later.
Sure. So this is the position in Anand's game. Let's go back to it. I agree, later on. Will he get his first victory? I mean, this is the big question. But there's more action happening. Has he actually gone rook to g8? Has this been played? Is he sacrificing? This would be an amazing move from Lauren. Or did he do a Lauren and just miss that it was a fork? I'm being nasty now. Poor old Lauren. Well, rook g8, but we know Lauren, so we can have a joke with him a little bit.
I don't understand it. He just wants to give up the exchange.
I think,
but maybe he thinks that there's so much going on the king side, and if you get rid of the f5 knight, then it's only black who can attack.
Maybe. I mean, maybe he's just saying after knight to h6 check, we can. I don't know. Where do we move the king? Maybe let's say e8. I'm not sure if that's best, but. And then after we give up the exchange, okay, well, look at white's development. White is so poorly developed, whilst black has the rook attacking, the queen ready to dive into h3, the knight coming in. Maybe this is the idea, Anna. He's just saying, okay, I'm going to give up some material, but I'm going to try to checkmate you, possibly.
I started to like this move because I feel like after capturing the rook on g8, as you have mentioned, white has no pieces. It's just the queen and the rook, but they are not doing much, and I'm threatening knight f3, queen g4. I started liking Laurent's chances in this game.
Yeah, so did he... Okay, well, white is still thinking about knight to h6 at this moment in time. I mean, queen b3 is a possibility, as we've seen before. Maybe then the king would just drop back to e8 anyway, because the king kind of wants to scuttle away like a little cockroach, the cockroach king. I think that's a term of Jovanka Huska, actually, Anna. This crawling king, she called a cockroach king.
I like it. That's so creative. The cockroach king.
The cockroach king, and it seems to be running away. It's a very interesting position, very intriguing, and white's deciding the best way. Well, white has gone check. White has gone check. So is the cockroach king going to run? Is it going to run?
Queen e6 is still a no-no.
Yeah. Queen e6, this big check on h6 still occurs. And, well, should we have a look how Anand's getting on quickly as well? Update there?
Yeah, and then we shall come back to this one because, well, this is going to end up with a mate. The question is who is giving mate. Now, I really feel like after queen takes f5, there's so many pieces on the king side attacking white's king that even though it was black's king that was being attacked, now table's turn.
Yes. And we should say this is the third game for Vishy Anand, who has, in the first 2 rounds, only drawn his first 2 times of playing on Chess.com. He's still seeking his first win on Chess.com. And in this position, well, at the moment, Anna, I don't see him getting a win from this position. Opposite coloured bishops, and whose bishop is better? Well, the bishop on b2 is lovely. And didn't you say earlier, Anna, that you like playing against the isolated pawn?
I do, especially when the minor pieces are getting off of the board. So now it's only one minor piece, and I don't feel like I get mated.
So it's still not easy, this position. Not easy. On the plus point for Anand is that he has control of the open C file, so he can claim to. That's his one main edge in this position, control of the open file. But it kind of shows you, Anna, that even everyone kind of thought that Anand would have a great tournament and win every game, but it shows you that these players who are lower rated on their day, they can play brilliant chess, and that seems to be what they're doing at this moment in time.
Yeah, that's true. And I see many of you guys on Twitch and on Chess.com TV saying that you have Vishy on your fantasy chess team, and that's just normal. I believe, according to our commissioner, about 90% of the votes for Board 1 in Eastern Division went for Viswanathan. So most of us have Vishy on our fantasy chess team, and it seems like we are not going to win the $10,000.
No, probably not. No, he's kind of probably. But I doubt anyone will. I expect everyone would have picked Vishy, on their team. I would have thought. Yeah. He's a natural guy to have.
He's just so strong. I'm shocked that he's not doing so well.
Yeah. Okay, well, Queen e6. I mean, I was wondering if I was white here, if I could just try to exchange everything off. But the problem is, well, I don't know if it's a major problem, but when I take on c4, of course, black doesn't take with a rook when I can get a draw immediately. But black will take with a pawn. And this position is, black is better, I think, here, because the passed pawn and maybe the open d file for the rook. So that's one chance that maybe black has in this kind of structure at the moment. Okay, well, a quick check back now to how this very exciting game was going on between Nonsense and Fresnay. So king to e8 played, pawn takes d4. We had quite a lot of exchanges. Queen takes f5. White is just trying to open up the middle of the board. On the other hand, Lauren is trying to attack on the king side, and he does so with knight g4, threatening a big capture on f2. That is guarded, and now the knight comes back and captures the pawn on e5. So black is equal on material. Only for a second, white grabs the pawn on b7. Very exciting game, Anna.
It is. And those pieces on the queen side are still unemployed.
They are. I like that. Unemployed pieces. Do they need to go and get a job?
Definitely, and very quickly.
They need to get out of their beds and get a job somewhere. So I agree. I mean, is there something nasty with knight f3 check here as well? I don't. This is the first move. I don't know how it... Okay, my idea, if I was black, would be to go knight f3, king here, and then rook takes g2. But white might have time to counterattack. Well, I'm thinking if you take the rook on g2, then I have checkmate with this, and queen g1 checkmate. But I think after rook takes g2, it's white's turn. So white can now counterattack somehow here, I would have thought. Very complex position.
It looks like it doesn't really have pieces to counterattack with, and you don't have time for queen c7 and such. You need to give a check.
How about rook takes e7 check? This possible line. Yeah. And now queen takes c7 check. I'll just try to use my only active piece, which is the queen. I don't have any other pieces to attack with. Can I get a perpetual at least with this? Yeah.
Well, that's white's only hope in this position. It's incredible. It was white who was attacking. Now we will see it. After knight f3, king moves, and I'm expecting rook takes g2. So as you have mentioned, Simon, this looks like a massive attack for black.
It does, yeah. I mean, rook takes g2 now is a very kind of natural move because you've got lots of pieces attacking the white king. He has played it. He's played rook takes g2. So this is a very nice game from Laurent Fresnay. Yeah. Really impressive game. He's making up for his first round here, Anna, I feel, with this sacrificial attack.
He is. We will forgive him.
Yeah, we can't call it the Fresnay anymore, or the Laurent. We have to think of something else now. And, wow, White has to find something drastic here with all these threats coming in. Rook G1 check and many other ideas. But as you say, the unemployed pieces, they're being too lazy today, aren't they, Anna? Being too lazy.
They're very lazy. And in this position, if rook takes e7 doesn't work, then he can resign because he's getting mated. Rook G1 is mating 1, and if you just try to free the e2 square for the king, you will still get mated. I'm pretty sure of that. So either rook e7 works or White can resign.
Yes, I agree. So I think we should stick with this until the end, because this has been one of the, I think this has been a lovely idea from Lauren. You know, the best move in my opinion was here on move 15. If we go back 5 moves, Black played rook to g8, allowing the check on h6 if he saw it. Of course he did. I'm sure he did, and he offered the exchange. But I mean, amazing idea. But in the game, okay, we have the moves: rook takes e7, king takes, queen takes c7 check. Does White have enough for some kind of perpetual check here, or is it going to be winning for Black in the position? By the way, I think,
on a side note, Vishy has finished his game, and it's yet another draw. Wow. Unfortunately, for all of us who are fans of Vishy, we really wanted to see him winning. There's still one more game to play, but we really thought that he would do very well in the Pro Chess League.
That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, who would have guessed he wouldn't have won a game after 3 rounds? Quite shocking, in actual fact. So I expect most people.
He has played everyone but not the first board. So in the last game, he's got Benjamin Gledor, the first board of Oslo Trolls, and Simon. You were in Gibraltar in 2016. Gledora beat Vishy that year.
He did.
The classical game.
That's right. Yeah. They played, like you say, a couple of years ago when Gledora, who's quite a young player, actually ground down Vishy in an ending, and he has 100% against Vishy at the moment. So this is a good time for him to get revenge, Anna, I guess.
He should try, and we hope to see that Vishy will be back in the last game and in general in the Pro Chess League, because we all know that he knows more than this, much more than this. He's capable of winning all games. Yeah.
So Anna, I mean, you seem to be jetting all over the place at the moment. You've been to Tattersteel, one of the best opens in the world. You're in Norway now, and you're commentating, which I know a lot of people in the chat will know this person, the best commentator surely in the world, the legendary Overture. It's got to be Sarawan, yeah? That's going to be. Have you commentated with him before?
Last year in Vaikanze, but I was doing the interviews, so I basically joined him every first hour of the show, and this is the first time that I will be doing the entire commentary with him, and I just can't wait. I'm looking forward to it so much. And for the event, of course, Carsten Nakamura, Just 960, starting this Friday.
Okay.
I'm just being told that we have missed an amazing game, Gupta's game, if we can still bring it up. I don't know if you have it, Simon. It might have disappeared already.
Yeah, I'm also trying to work out what on earth's just happened in this game. Because as far as we've seen, we'll have a look at Gupta's game, but a move I did not expect Lauren to play. He basically played Queen D7, and has he just blundered? What's his idea? After the king here, he's gone, he's going to go Knight C2. Is that beautiful? The knight is coming to c2. That's an amazing idea. But does it work? I mean, I would not have considered that idea, because the knight on a1 might get trapped. I mean, Queen d7, King f1, Knight c2 is being played. But let's say I just go something like b3 here. This is a crazy ending. Really weird game going on. Very weird game. I still don't know about Queen d7. I think we might have Aman Hamilton in the chat as well. So hello to Aman, who has now shaved off his beard, so I can claim to have one of the biggest beards in the chess world at the moment. His beard was...
You wanted to be the only one, Simon.
Well, his beard was outshining me by miles, you know. It was just an amazing beard. But can the knight get out of jail here? I mean, if it can, it's going to be winning. Something like knight takes a1, bishop b2, and now we put the rook on c8, trying to come in to these two squares. Well, actually, the knight can just come out. What am I talking about? I'm going crazy. The knight can just hop out. Next move after rook c8. The knight can come back here and black's exchange up. If white takes on a1, then rook c1 check. And we do that. We get the Hoover out. We turn it on and we go. And we Hoover.
We play
up.
knight a3 to try to stop knight c2, but it's not looking that promising.
Okay, king e2, knight takes knight a3, and it's a bit slow, isn't it, to go here and here? Doesn't rook c8 Doesn't rook c8 win again? Let's go rook c8. Then you go king d2 or king d1. It's whether you can trap that crazy knight in this position. Can you trap that crazy knight? I don't know.
It's giving a check. So the idea is after king d1.
Yeah. Can we get the knight out? That's the question in this position. How do we get them?
Now coming from the g file.
Now you're going to come to the g file. Okay. You're going to try to come down here. I think the knight's quite safe, don't you, Anna? I would say it's reasonably safe. Yeah.
Yes, especially having in mind that even if white manages to play b3, bishop b2, once you have the rook on the back rank, it will be defending the knight on a1. So white is not trying to go for b3, bishop b2. He's changing his plan. Bishop f4. But this looks just bad.
Yeah, it should be. I think this has been a lovely game by Laurent Fresnay. Really good game. So, do you want to have a look at the? Did you say the was it Gopal game?
Yeah, but he started his new game. So maybe at the end of the show, if we still have time, then we come back to Gupta's previous.
Oh, Gupta.
round.
Okay, right. Okay.
Norway sneaking back. I hear from Mr. Greg Shahadi. Is that true?
Well, they've won they've won 2 games now. So this is. They were 7-1 down, and now it's 7-3. So they're fighting. They're fighting hard. And we have to say, Johan Solomon did win that game, and that is a brilliant victory against someone as strong as Igor Kovalenko. So they're fighting. They're fighting. Should we keep an eye on them?
Yeah, we should. So Laurent is playing for the Gnomes as well, and if he wins, that's already 4 points.
Yeah. This could be the biggest comeback in Pro Chess League history if somehow the Gnomes can claw their way back into the match. Well, we could stick with Laurent's game then just to see how it's going. And well, the king's now coming in. I think Laurent's going to win this one. He's got great technique as well, with the king coming in, and maybe the h-pawn will win the game. b4 played. Still, Harry's going to win the game. We're going to win the pawn on h2 and then queen Harry, I think. Something like that. So is there any more games in this I'm just trying to think. Is there one more game in this match that is still being played? I'm just going to try to find it if I can. Not that one. Bear with me, people. We're trying to find the last game in the Norway Gnomes match. I'm not sure who the player is.
I also don't see it.
I can't see it at the moment.
Trying to figure out the reason.
Unfortunately. Okay.
There must be one more game.
Yeah.
Or simply that the score has not been updated.
Yeah. Okay, so b5, and white still has some chances here because the knight is bad, and white has now created a passed a pawn. So it's that passed a pawn is actually, well, okay, if you move the a pawn, then you give up the b3 square. That's the main issue. So you can't move
it
the
is Mr. Hansen, your friend and the first trainer of Magnus Carlsen, who's still playing against Nikita Meskovs.
Okay, and
IMDb X against Vincent Masuka.
Right. Okay, got it. So while we're waiting on the result of this very good game from Lauren, let's have a look at the last game with the Gnomes match. And this is Torbjörn playing with white. I think Torbjörn's had a bit of a tough time, and this is the last game there with white to play here. What is happening at the moment? Well, it looks like things could be coming off, Anna. Rook takes c2, knight takes b7, so there's a big threat here. Rook takes c2 is being played, and now...
And it's happening, it's happening.
This could be a draw. But still, that'd be 3.5 points from 4 games in round 3. Oh, what's this?
Look at that intermediate move. Queen a1 check.
Okay, that's cheeky. Queen c1 check. Is this helping? What about rook c8 now? Can we go?
Well, it was beautiful because after queen a1, if the king had gone back to the back rank, I think he wanted to push a7, and in case of queen a8, rook c8.
Oh, that's lovely, Anna. But do I have in this position a little? It looks like white's winning, but can I go rook b1 check?
Oh, I'm missing your counter check.
No, but you go king h2.
I was excited about the tactical motive.
No, but I think you're right, Anna, because white just goes king h2 here, and white's still winning. What a weird tactic that would be. Isn't white winning here?
Rook c7 now. It's a different scenario, but it just looks very easily winning. Queen c1 or queen f6. Both look...
Okay, so this is going to be 4-0. 4-0 for the Gnomes.
Wow, what a comeback. They are still not there. They still need a couple of points, but
yes.
4-0.
It looks like it. If white should be winning here. I mean, look at the king. The king is getting ripped apart. Queen h4 checkmate is a major threat.
Yeah, there's no move. I don't see a move here. You have a check on b1 and that's all.
Yeah, this is a brilliant game from Torbjorn.
Wow.
Great that he's actually managed to pull his way back into this match. 4-0. The Gnomes are back. Did we ever doubt them, Anna?
Wow, so that halftime speech must have worked. Or maybe he didn't say a word, and as you said, it was the first speech that didn't.
Yeah, we're wondering.
We should ask later, Mr. Hammer.
We need to know the info. Did Hammer have a halftime speech, or did he not say anything? Which, if he did a halftime speech, it obviously worked perfectly. If he didn't say anything, it also worked perfectly. So I don't know. What do you reckon? What would be the better tactic from the Hammer time? Who knows? Oh, well, we're easily winning now. White is going to pick up the rook on e7, on b4. Lovely play.
Very well played by Mr. Hansen. I'm being told that Frasine is not winning yet, so we might see half a point being wasted there, but it still looks like winning. Isn't he just winning right now after the knight moves his d2?
I think he's just winning because he's got the rook against it. Well, there you go.
He won on time, but the position was already winning. So 4-0 is going to be in this round 3 for the Gnomes. Incredible comeback. They still need to score in the last round many points, but wow, this has been an impossible act, and they have just done it. 4-0.
Brilliant comeback. I mean, they've now got the score from 7-1 to 7-5. I mean, whoa!
What a difference!
I know, what a comeback. They're very. That was amazing round for the Gnomes, and it gives them a slight chance now going into the last round. Thank you, Chessbay, who's saying that John Ludwig is streaming, and it looks like he did not do a speech. But he did offer them pizza if they did better in the second half. So it's always the pizza. Just dangle the pizza in front of them. No food for you. You win, you get some pizza. It always does the job. Always. So, well, good win by... That was a really nice game by Lorna Fresnay there. And we maybe will have... Anand playing his potentially is he getting ready to play his last game now? No, there's a couple more to go, isn't there? So let's have a look at the other scores quickly.
Eric was just saying that Hammer offers pizza and Eric offers a nice strawberry spinach walnut avocado salad.
I'll take the pizza.
Sounds much better, the salad.
You think the salad sounds better or the pizza?
No, just pulling his leg, of course. And I'm pretty sure that the Chessborough house is full of pizza boxes from the last party. Am I right?
So? Have you ever witnessed one of their parties, Anna? Have you ever been along to a Chessborough party at any time?
I haven't had the honor yet to be invited to the Chessborough house.
Okay, I hear the whole of Canada goes crazy when and it all shuts down when the Chessboroughs are partying. It's a legendary event, I think, in Canada, as far as I hear. So pizza or salad? I'll go pizza anyway. Definitely pizza. So.
Me too. And I like healthy food, but pizza is just too good.
Yeah, we need a bit of pizza now and again in our lives. So what about the other scores? Well, we have the Estonia Horses 2 points ahead of the Delhi Dynamites. The Armenian Eagles, who are top of the league, are a point clear of the Volga Stormbringers. Looks like a very close match. I mean, we can bring up the team standings before today's round just to see what the teams need to do. 4 teams go through to the next round, and at the moment you can see the 4 teams in green are the teams that are going through. Now, the two, what happens to the teams in red again, Anna? The teams in red, the 2 bottom teams.
They are going down. They cannot play next year unless they qualify in a qualification tournament. But you don't want to finish on the bottom 2 spots in any of the divisions. A quote from Mr. Hammer, because Greg is also everywhere. He said that MVL stopped watching after we were down 7-1 and gave up and stopped watching. Let's hope MVL stays away, because he is the one who brings us bad luck.
That's it. MVL, we're talking about Maxime Legrave, and he's obviously bringing them bad luck. It's all his fault, yeah? All his fault, of course.
All his fault. Blame it on Bashir.
Yeah. Okay, and, well, other games, just waiting to see. Well, we can go to one very interesting game, and this is, again, with Dmitry Adriakin, just a little looking there. And this is a game between the Armenian Eagles and the Stormbringers, and if Dmitry can win this one, he'd level the score, but looks like a pretty even position at the moment. Petrov defense, I'd imagine, after Bishop G4, some kind of normalish equal position, 2 grandmasters facing off, but a draw would be quite a good result for the Armenian Eagles here. And well, the Mumbai Movers, it looks like they drew another game there, so it's 6.5, 4.5. They still have a nice lead over the Oslo Trolls as well. But I think the news at the moment, do you think the Norway Gnomes will come back, Anna? The last round, do you think they can do it? They need to get
that would be a miracle. But I feel like with this tendency, of course, why not? Why not believe that they can do it? And we are not rooting for any team or against any team, but this is just such an incredible thing in any competition when you see a team that's basically out and then they make it. So I think we would all love to see that this can happen. Miracles happen.
They do, and anything can happen in this league. So we'll try to keep a close eye on that match, the Norway Gnomes. And let's see if there's any other action going on. So I'll just bring up some other games. We can have a quick flick.
Sure.
We have Gupta.
Yeah, I'm being reminded that I've been to a chess bra party before, but that doesn't count. I've been to a meetup, but that's not the chess bra house. I haven't been to the chess bra house. I want to avoid it.
I thought you were going to say that you've been to a party, but you couldn't remember it. that sounds quite likely as well.
No, it was nice, of course, but that's not the chess bra mansion.
Do they have I bet they have mansion now. They have all the chess bras. I like the idea of having this mansion with chess players, just eating pizza, having parties, streaming. Sounds good. Sounds great. So yeah. And chess bra party, that must be a major event. A major event. So something I'd like to witness at some point as well. In my life, I remember I've shared a couple of drinks with them before, and they they're pretty handy with their drinking, so they've got some skills. So
they've got some skills. They did so well at the Super Saturday, by the way. So congratulations to the chess bras. They will be playing today, later on. So guys, all the chess bra fans here, you will be seeing once again the chess bra streaming and playing today in the Pro Chess League.
Yeah. And we're looking at an ending here. Gupta playing for the Delhi Dynamites, who are 2 points behind, is trying to grind down Jan Elvist here. I say white is probably pushing here because white has this potential pass C pawn. If you can get your rook behind a pass pawn, normally the best place to have it, and then you can ram it down the board until it gets a queen. The ramming pawn action. Maybe your king can come across to help that as well. So I expect white's a little bit better here, but it's a rook ending with equal material. So probably Jan is not in too much danger at this moment in time. Now we do have a big match now just started between Laurent Fressinet with white against Igor Kovalenko, and I would say that Laurent has come back from his mouse slip. That's just say it's a mouse slip in round
That's
one.
what he calls it.
I would call that a mouse slip as well, wouldn't you? I mean, I've done things like that before, but you know, mouse slips are mouse slips. But he's won his last 2 games, so he's done very well to keep them in the match. But this is a big game, because if Laurent can win against their top player, then who knows? They've got some great chances. So we keep an eye on this, and has let's have a look if Anand has started play yet as well. I don't think so. So we keep an eye for when Anand starts his game. But at the moment, it looks like this is a normal kind of Caro-Kann position so far. Do you have any favourite openings yourself, Anna? Do you have like an opening you really enjoy playing?
Favorite opening, the Grob.
The Grob.
No, no, but the French defense. I think that's what everybody knows of me.
So you and me similar.
What about
like
you,
that.
Simon?
I've always played the French defense as well, so you know I'm with you there. So 2 gingers playing the French defense. Team Ginger.
And we haven't even seen Charlie today, so I'm missing Charlie.
Let's have a look.
Charlie, does he play the French?
He does on Sundays apparently. That's what he's saying. He's only on Sundays. He sleeps the rest of the time. Charlie the chess cat, who is asleep. He's been fast asleep the whole time so far. So he might wake up later on. We'll see. But the French defense, okay, it's a good opening. But the Caro-Kann's, this opening's quite similar to the French, would you say?
It is. I always wanted to learn it properly so that I can be combining the two, and I did study it, but I wouldn't call myself anything like an expert. I don't know much about the Caro-Kann as for black.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the pawn structure here that black has, these 3 pawns here, is the same pawn structure you get in the French when black tries to go c5. I think Danny Wrench has done a great series for premium Chess.com members. If you are a premium member in the Chess.com video range on pawn structures, and basically the pawn structure is like the skeleton of your position. So when you're assessing a position, the first thing I always say that people should do is look at the pawn structure to see what pawn pushes you have, what's good about the structure and what's bad about the structure. Because if you know what you're trying to do with your pawns, it's like the skeleton of your body. It can help you play. So go and check out Danny Wrench's video if you are a premium member, and if you're not, become a premium member. Be silly not to. Silly not to. So
true about the skeleton. So you should definitely check out the video. And there are many other quality video material on Chess.com. It is worth to become a member on Chess.com. If you haven't registered yet, do it. It's free, and then you can get the premium membership for the videos.
That's right. And this position here, I would say that black's perfectly comfortable here so far. At the moment, after c5, black seems to be getting quite a lot of play on the queen side, knight c6, Anna, and things like this. I mean, do we think? I think it's all right. Maybe white's going to push with f4, f5, try to attack over there as well. But at the moment, I would say black has equalised in this game.
Yeah, it's just like a French without the ugly bishop, so I like it.
Yes. Okay, I'm just also seeing if Anand has started. We want to keep an eye on the world rapid champion. Has he started his game yet? It doesn't seem so, but as soon as he does, we will keep an eye on how he's getting on. So
whoa, sorry to interrupt you, Simon, but I see weird things on board 4 between the gnomes and the magicians.
Okay, which players are there on board 4?
It's Johann Sebastian Christiansen and Anna Cantana. No, sorry, board 3 in this case.
Okay, do you know their handles?
Yes, it's J. Ash Preps against Anna Cantane.
Okay, I'm trying to find it. It's not showing for me for some reason. I don't know why. Let me just pop back. I might have to refresh.
Oh no, sorry. I'm looking. I'm looking at the previous game. My bad. My bad.
Ah, okay. Of this.
They start in 5 minutes. I was still seeing the old game.
Right. Okay.
Apologies. That's where it finished. Actually, I was like, wow, they are winning on that board too. So started to be happy for the gnomes, but it's already counted.
Okay. And I mean, talking about interesting games, Anna, and looking at the other ones going on, this match between the gnomes and the magicians. One of the heroes so far has been the other Anna, and she won her first 2 games, even being, you know, outrated. She's playing now Torbjörn Hansen, who had that lovely win in the last one. And this opening, again, another Caro-Kann. We can whiz through the moves quickly. And Torbjörn gets to push his H-pawn with H5. And looks like we have an exciting position with opposite side castling going on. Bishop E6 being played. With, what do we think? The very dynamic position, I think, this one. So this is Anna versus Torbjörn Hansen going on in this very, well, can the Norway Gnomes make their comeback? C4 played. And I don't know, what do we think here? Sort of equalish?
Yes, this is still after the opening. These knight f6 variations, I always feel like black is slightly worse, but nothing special. Although if you have to play for a win with black in these positions, I find that a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I think so.
Nothing is impossible, and this castle opposite flank, so that's good news, at least for the Norwegians. This is the last round in this match, so crucial that they score. The magicians need, as before, 1.5 points to win the match.
Yes, the winning score is 8.5, of course. So as soon as one team gets to 8.5, that's it. They've won the match. If the score is 8-all, then it's a draw match because there's 16 games in total. King B1 just being played, but I mean, this looks like it could really come alive at any moment. Maybe there's a B5. I mean, I'd be very tempted just to throw B5 in there, sacrifice a pawn, something like this, to try to open up the B file. I mean, you maybe don't need to do that now, but at some point B5 is probably going to be the break from black. Rook C8 prepares B5 to come when the rook might open up on the C line. So very interesting game going on at the moment here. So
still B5, and I don't really see how white can get to the black king. It's interesting in this position that black has pushed G6 and H5. So normally you would feel like that makes it easier to create a pawn break and open up the G and H files, but not with the knight on G3.
No, the knight on G3 is getting in the way, isn't it, of moves like G4 and other moves that white has to try to open up the position. It is just a bit of a clogger, piece here at the moment in time. And, well, let's see if we can find any other games in this match, because this is the big one. We'll go back to, well, we found one here, and this is Johan Solomon, who was the hero because he beat the board 1 of the Riga Magicians in the last game, and he is white against Artus. So rook to A4 being played. Is he going to go for the big swing, Anna? Is it the big swing coming over? Might be.
I think he is preparing the big swing.
Looks like
he's been practicing the whole week.
What, has he been just going up and across, up and across, up and across? Is that good exercise to get home and just practice?
I think so. Certainly you should try it at home.
Do you really, I like the idea of this. We could go with this. Could we have, you've got all these fitness videos. So you've got all these celebrities doing their exercise video. Anna, you could be perfect at this. Could you do your own fitness video? You could do the chess workouts. You could have a rook and you could be going the rook swing, up and across, up and across, and then you could have the king move. That would be
hilarious.
You go king move, king move, king move, king move, king move. Then you could have the knight. It's a bit like Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. I think this is a great idea, Anna. You could have your first, bring it out in January the 1st. Would anyone buy that? I don't know. I think that could be a little seller there, Anna. A little bit of extra money.
I think you have just revolutionized the chess video production.
I think that's a winner. Must be a winner. So who would buy that? Who would buy the Anna Rudolf chess workout video? coming to a store near you, January the 1st. Get in shape. So I like it. I like the idea. So we'd have to. Okay, back to the game. Probably should go back there occasionally. Rooks have come off, and I think, you know, black's quite solid. Black is getting ready to put the knight on f6, which kind of plugs up all the holes. So black also has a little bit more space with this pawn in the center. Probably about even, do we think, Anna, at the moment? Even this position, maybe?
It looks like, but I like that white's got the pressure.
Yeah. White has, with the queen on a very active square and some pressure over there. I'm just wondering if we move our bishop on d2, either to g5 or to c3. Can we place this one in just to try to annoy black somehow? I mean, one idea, why it doesn't work. I wanted to go bishop g5 and rook h4, but I don't think that works. We've got weird ideas maybe of going rook h4, trying to threaten checkmate, always nice. And if knight to f6, just queen to f3, and maybe now we can try to attack that knight, get rid of the defender. So a little bit of pressure, but nothing has broken so far in black's position, really.
He has pushed h4. Harry's going forward.
How did I not recommend that move? Ridiculous. So
I don't know, Simon. I think you are not being yourself, truly.
No, I know. I'm mixing things up today. H4, and I guess maybe the bishop's coming to h3 is another. Get that bishop to a better diagonal is the idea.
And also, when the queen retreats, he might just want to push Harry 5 and Harry 6.
I like it. Harry 5 and Harry 6. Push him up the board. So,
push, Harry, push!
Go, Harry! Go, Harry, go! Loads of games in action. Should we go back to the top board in this match and see how the Caro-Kann was getting on?
Sure.
So this is between Lauren and Igor, and this is a key game, because if Lauren can win this one, well, this is the top board. And remember, the way this works, this league, which I think makes it much more exciting, there's 4 rounds. Each player in each team plays each player in the other team. So it's like an all-play-all. In the first round, board 1 plays board 4, and they get nearer and nearer on rating until the last round. This is the last round when you have board 1 versus board 1. So in theory, the game should be a lot closer. Both of these players very similar rated, and it looks to me like black is very comfortable. We're whizzing through the moves to get up to date. Okay, this is like watching a 1-minute game here. And queen a1 played here. Well, I would say I think black's. This is like a French defence, Anna. So I expect you know a lot about this structure as well. Do you think black's okay?
I like black's position, but I wouldn't call it anything special. It should be about equal. I think complicated. I would call it complicated, and then anyone can win if you say it's complicated.
I like that. Yeah.
I just started to be worried about another board. That's why I stopped for a moment. It's between Meskos and Christensen.
Right, and the names of those 2 players are?
IMDbX and JS Preps.
Okay.
They sound so fancy.
Let's move straight in there. We should remind ourselves that if the Riga Magicians just win one game, game from the last round, they can't lose the match, because 8 points is enough to at least get a draw. And, well, this is a bit crazy, isn't it? What's happening here?
That's what I wanted to ask you about.
Oh dear, I've no idea. Is that a fair answer? I don't know.
Yeah, just say it's complicated.
Complicated. Well, maybe black has a draw here, Anna, because black might be able to go, for example, knight takes f4, and do I have some kind of perpetual here? Like pawn takes f4, and now queen to g4 check. If you go to h1, I can mate you here with queen f3. It's actually not a draw. And now queen takes f2, queen f3 is checkmate. Look at this little hidden bishop. I hate those pieces in games. That's a hidden piece. I forget about them all the time. Actually, black's got a dangerous attack. So, where's my mouse gone? My mouse has now disappeared. Okay, so let's look at
it's because of the hidden piece.
The hidden piece. It's taken my mouse away. So you have to go to f1, and I think this is what Johan is calculating now. He's probably calculating all these lines. And now if I check you, the white king has to do a cockroach king job and run away. I like that. We're getting good names. I love Dark Squared Bishop. Anna has called that bishop the Ninja Bishop. I like that.
The Ninja Bishop. I love it.
The Ninja
So this
Bishop.
is a double ninja because it's a Dark Squared Bishop and it's a hidden piece. So
it's definitely a ninja.
Perfect ninja.
It is. And well, it looks like white's okay in this position. Do you think? Just about? I don't know, to be honest, but maybe. I'm just complicated.
It's gonna be decided in the next few moves, that is for sure. So I thought that maybe we can wait what's gonna happen. Although now Johan Sebastian started thinking.
I think it's a position you must thinking here. I mean, the other idea here is bishop takes f2 check. Immediately is quite tempting. I mean, if I take on f2, king takes f2, queen takes h2 check. This is also completely mental, I would say. This is just a mental variation. I mean, okay, people are asking about the last variation, so let's stick to them one at a time. You're right. After knight takes here, trying to get at least a draw with perpetual, but maybe more. And then if white plays for a win, we do have pawn takes pawn check. Now, the reason I didn't have total belief in this for black is that after something like knight takes rook, that's forcing. Rook takes here check. I think the white king is running away. So king to d2. And I don't think black has any more checks in this position. And if you don't have any more checks, then it's probably white's turn to start attacking here. White has a couple of good checks lined up. d6, rook takes g7. So this particular variation looks good for white. But maybe a key moment in the whole match, Anna, at the moment here.
It could be the decisive game. I will quickly check what's happening on the other boards, but I think we should stay here.
Agreed.
Unless something crazy is going to happen on the other boards. In the meantime, if you guys want to see, Viswanathan has started his last round game against Benjamin Gladura, a Hungarian talented player who beat him in 2016 in Gibraltar. So this is a revenge opportunity. Oh, maybe we should look at it because now Vichy is attacking. And probably this is the game. He's going to beat his strongest opponent, not the other guys, the strongest.
Okay, so we're going over so much action in this last round.
Yeah. I didn't mean to switch, but I think this is over.
Okay, let's have a look then, Anna, because this could be Anand's first victory, and he's playing against a very strong Hungarian player. Do you know Gladora at all, Anna?
Yeah, he's a very nice guy, and now the biggest talent in Hungary. Close to Rapport in age, but Rapport is a few years older, so Richard Rapport and Benjamin Gladura, they are now the biggest hopes of Hungary, but I think in this game it's clearly Vichy. Unless I did not see something, but I feel like if you take on g6, queen e6, king f8, knight h7 is mate, and if the king goes to h8...
Sorry, so if you take on g6, do you want to show that variation again? I missed that, sorry, Anna. So...
Yeah, I was thinking, like, if f takes g6, queen takes e6, you cannot play king f8 because of knight h7 mate.
Yeah.
So you have to play king h8, but in that case, I thought it was knight f7. I'm not sure after king h7 what am I going to do. He always has perpetual, and that's cool when you sacrifice. In worst case, you can just go for the draw, but I feel like there must be something. Can you just go right now? Can
you just go queen takes g6 instead of knight f7? Maybe.
Yeah.
In this position.
Yeah, sure. Oh, after king h8, no, queen takes g6, and you cannot prevent mate on h7.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
over.
This is probably a good way to play.
Yeah, you're right. Knight f7
Wow.
is not needed at all. So Gladura resigns. Vichy finishes the tournament with a victory. It's +1 for him.
Nice. So
That's
he
two and a half
got a
points.
victory at the end then, which is great.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, that's good. So we had 3
It's better
draws and
to
a win.
finish a tournament with a victory, always better, even if he wanted to score more, of course.
And the funny thing there, Anna, is we were expecting the Riga Magicians a number of I don't know, half an hour ago to win first, but we can see by the green score that with that victory, Anand has taken the Mumbai Movers forwards, and they have got a very important victory against the Oslo Trolls. Very quick look at the standings before today. We can see that the Oslo Trolls are in serious trouble. They lost again, and the Mumbai Movers, it puts them in a great position, pretty much guaranteed qualifications. So that was a good victory for them. Very, very well, I'm not going to say easy, but they won convincingly there, I think, the Mumbai
Yes,
Movers.
and it's thanks to Vish's beautiful victory. So in the end, once again, Indian fans must be very happy for him. The first few rounds by Vishy were not what we all expected, but in the end, he has won the match for the Mumbai Movers with this beautiful game.
Yes, and talking about another key match, the Norway Gnomes versus the Riga Magicians, it's all happening. We were wondering how Black was going to continue Johann Sebastian in what seemed like a key game because it's so sharp. Black is attacking, but White is really strong in the centre of the board. Black went for bishop takes f2 check, Anna. King takes f2, and now the check on h2, and now Black takes on e3. Really crazy position on f4. Rook takes g7 check. White starts a counter-attack. Now king to f8. What is happening? White has at least a draw here, is that correct?
Yes, White has a draw, rook f7, rook g7. As far as I can see, you cannot escape from that. You can't go to h8 because of this b2 hidden ninja. Apart from that, does he have more than a draw? Because probably Meshkovs is calculating now. Can he win here and not just give perpetual?
Such a complicated position, this one. I mean, this is a complete mess. A complete mess, this one. Well, I mean, to show the draw, I mean, maybe he's going to wait. Maybe a good team tactic here for White. He's got 8 minutes. The score is above. Maybe he should wait because if someone else wins, he can take the draw. So, for example, the draw is rook f7, rook g7. It's a draw. You can never go here because, as Anna pointed out, the hidden ninja is just too dangerous. We have some check here, and you know you've even got a draw guaranteed in these positions. But White has the draw, so maybe a good tactic: just wait and see. You know, give 5 minutes, wait 5 minutes, use those 5 minutes to try to calculate if you have a win, and rely on the other boards. So, what's happening on the other boards, Anna? What's going on, for example, on the top board clash between Laurent Fressinet and Igor Kovalenko? This is the current position, and Kovalenko has, well, basically has just faced the move knight takes h4. It's equal on material at the moment in time. I kind of think Black is better here, though, with this lovely knight on f4, if the queen can get in the game. Is Black better, do you think, Anna?
I like the knight on f4, but I'm thinking, how could Black bring his queen into the game?
So if we try, well, it's black to move, so if we try queen c5, and look at the time difference, so Lauren is only on 21 seconds. It's looking very bad for the Gnomes. Very bad.
That is f6, trying to bring the queen via the f6 square. It was a logical move, and Lauren responds with knight f3. I still like Black's chances in this position more than White's.
I agree. I mean, Black has a much better knight, centralized pawns, and a bit of a safer king. But also the time situation is really, really bad. The queen... Oh, there must be a big discovered check here. Knight e2 check.
This doesn't look good.
It looks terrible. Knight e2 and the queen comes in. Looks like one very dangerous way for to continue this attack in this position. Just one way, that is. So I'm showing knight e2, releasing a check here, and now after... What's he playing?
He did not give a check. That was the most surprising thing I've ever seen in this game, that it's when you clearly want to give a discover check, but he went king f6.
maybe a better
Maybe
move.
he didn't see anything concrete after knight e2, king h1.
Yeah, and this is looking really bad now for Lauren Fresnay. This is going to be the Norway Gnomes. I think they're going down in this match. If black wins here, this is probably a decider, probably a deciding game at the moment. e5, still in the game. Well, if the queen gets to h4, there's a fight. There's a fight on. He's got to play quick. What a save this will be if black can save this position. It'd be a major save.
Now that I see how it went after this king f6 move, I think it was very smart from Kovalenko, taking into account how much time Laurent had on the clock and still has. Imagine that moment when you are just calculating the discover check with 10 seconds on the clock, and then your opponent makes another move that improves his position and you still threaten the check. It's more unpleasant.
Yeah, definitely a good tactical ploy. But after this queen f2, Anna, I suddenly now think that white is fighting back, because in these positions with the queens and knights, they're very tactical, and whoever gets the queen into their enemy's position first normally takes the upper hand. And with the queen now coming into this position on h4, it seems to me he might get the upper hand. Maybe black has to play queen h7, but then the queens come off. Probably black is still better there. Queen, is there a problem? Oh no, but then you come the other way. So if queen h7 is played to defend this pawn, the queen has feinted to go to the king side, but it can now come over to the queen side. So it switches directions, and again the white queen comes into the position. So it's actually, I think now actually there's still chances for the Norway Gnomes. There's still an outside hope here. It's a really, this could be an amazing comeback, but 13 seconds on the clock, Anna. Oh, I don't like it.
Yes, but I agree with you then that king f6 was probably a good strategy in terms of the time, but perhaps was not the most precise. And now white is giving loads of checks. Can black escape and hide somewhere on the queen side?
That's it. I mean, I kind of feel white should be okay, but it's maybe maybe white is just trying to play for a draw here. And this is another situation where Igor could wait and see if other results come in, because he has a massive time advantage. Maybe he should go and make himself a nice cup of tea now. You know, just keep the pressure, keep the pressure on Lauren. He could say, right, perfect time for a cup of tea. Oh boy, let's get a cup of tea, have a little swig of tea. And he could do that potentially, but okay. Well, looks like he's trying to escape these checks. Is he escaping?
Well, Simon, we need to go back to Meshkov's Christensen because it's crazy.
Which one's this? Sorry.
IMDb X against JS Preps.
Oh, okay. What is this? What is this? This is madness. So white has played for a win, and oh my words, it's winning. I think it's winning for white. Oh, very bad news.
E5 escaping from the checks, and he's a piece up.
He's
now he's gonna take the knight, and then it's check when he moves the king.
Yeah, it's game over. Just the king.
But then
moves.
you take the bishop, and it's mate on. Yeah, it should be mate.
Worst case, white can swap the queens off with queen f6 and get into a winning ending.
True. In worst case, I was calculating if queen f8, knight f6, but probably the easiest is to trade queens. You are right.
And this has basically put the Riga magicians into they've won the match. This is going to be a win. They've won the match. We're just waiting to see, can white checkmate here? Well, one way I'm thinking you can go check here, check here, check, and then force black to take on f6, and you can win the queen with queen h8, which is one nice way of doing it. Did he play that move? He's waiting. Well, has he played a move? He has done this. He's gone for that line. Well, and he has done exactly the same line we just showed. So he did win the queen, and that is seriously bad news for the Gnomes. I think it's over for the Gnomes. The comeback did not quite happen, Anna.
Almost. They were very close, but this game by Meshkovs, kudos to the Riga magicians. And let's just see if that game ended in a draw. No, they're still playing. Fresnay and Kovalenko.
Okay.
Well, there are no queens on the board, so there was no perpetual in the end, but it's a knight versus 2 pawns, and Laurent doesn't have pawns.
So it's at least a draw, but I think this ending is probably always winning. Well, it should be winning for black, because the rook's pawn, this pawn on the sides, they're very good against the knight. If you ever get to an ending, having a pawn on the side of the board is much better when you're facing a knight, because the knight can only defend that pawn from one side. It can't get to the other side because it'd be jumping off the board. But maybe there's some fortress here. The king just keeps going backwards and forwards. Is this a potential fortress? I don't know. You've got d4 and you've got some way. Maybe it's a fortress. I'm not entirely sure if white just keeps moving the king. Not sure. Is it a draw? You're the endgame master, Anna.
Why does he not want to push d4?
I think he should push d4. He must use the d4 pawn. I don't know. It looks like it should maybe be winning for black somehow, but white is just trying to keep his fortress on the position here. Probably, I don't know. Can I gamble and say it's a draw? Can I gamble?
Maybe, because d4, king d3.
Yeah.
And black cannot improve his position. You can play king b1, but then check and you go back to c2.
So d4, king d3. Can I go king c1, trying to put you in a position of zugzwang? But then you something like
knight
this.
a1 I will always have then. I think there's always one square. So they agreed in a draw, and that means that the magicians beat the gnomes. This is something we would have called after round 1.
Yeah.
They led with 4-0,
yeah.
But it's incredible. The gnomes almost did it. So close.
They did. So we have two teams who have won their matches so far, the Riga Magicians and the Mumbai Movers. So they are through, but the other 2 remaining matches are still very, very close. Quick look at the standings before today's games, and just to see how that affects things. Well, the Riga Magicians, by winning against the Gnomes, have really helped out their situation. They could be getting into the green now by moving up, and they're trying to catch up the Estonian horses, but they caught the Norway Gnomes, because the Norway Gnomes, where the team they're playing, Norway Gnomes, in some danger of not going through now. And the Mumbai Movers having a very, very solid performance at the moment. So this is from the Eastern Division to go through to the knockout stages. Where should we go now?
Good question. So 2 matches decided, but the other 2 can go either way. I think we should just check in on both matches. There's one player that we haven't looked at yet, and I like his games a lot. He's my favorite in the Eastern Division. The youngest grandmaster in the world, 13-year-old Nadirbek Abdusattorov.
Okay.
And I'm going to find him. He's Beck, or Becky was his handle. I'm going to find him, and then I can tell you how he's doing. He's on my fantasy chess team. That I remember.
Okay, so
Vishy.
So if we look at the board pairings, which team is he playing for, Anna? He's playing for
the Stormbringers. Oh, he has won already his last game, I think.
I know. I've got his game up now. He's playing against Manuel Petrosian at the moment. So
okay.
I think I've got the right person.
Once again on the old one, I see the old games.
Oh. So this is the match between the Volga Stormbringers, who in this game had the white pieces. At the moment, they're 1 point up against the Armenian Eagles, and this looks like quite a solid position. So I didn't realise that the player of the white pieces is the youngest grandmaster in the world at the moment. Is that correct? Yeah. So.
Yes, he is, and in history, he's the 2nd youngest. So only Sergei Karyakin could make it under 13. Nadirbek, I think he got his title at the age of 13 years, 1 month, and 11 days. Okay,
that's pretty good, yeah. So,
yeah, younger than Magnus Carlsen.
So he's a real talent, a real major talent then, a player of the white pieces, and he's playing quite positionally in this game. Nice sort of positional grind. He's just trying to put his rook on the open file, not taking too many risks, and trying to grind down his opponent bit by bit. Exchange on d2, and not too much action though at the moment in this game.
Yeah, I think we should look at board 1, because that's a clash between Andresian and Andreikin, the 2 Andrs, and both are very strong players. Board 1s of the 2 teams, as we have mentioned, who did the best performance at this weekend, the Super Saturday and Super Sunday. So Armenian Eagles and the Volga Stormbringers performed excellently at the weekend, and now they need to face each other. Both can still win the match.
Yeah, I mean, the Armenian Eagles they're doing well in this league. I mean, okay, if they lose today, that could put them in a little bit of danger, but it won't affect their position so much because they're leading the league. I've just seen Charlie walk off. Bye, Charlie. You going to come and join
Charlie!
in? He's had enough of my voice, I think, as understandable. So he's doing a runner. He might come and join us later. We'll see if Charlie comes along. But probably it's more important for the Stormbringers to win this one, just because if we go very quickly back to the team standings, you can see that Stormbringers are in danger of, real danger of not just relegation, but not being invited back next year as one of the players.
Yeah.
So they really need to have a good performance now. So how is the position after Black's last move, c5? So c5 played, and it looks, I don't know, White's trying to generate some kind of attack here, maybe with the queen and bishop over on the king side, some kind of attack. But Black can get a nice hold in the center. This knight on a very good route now, the knight coming to c4, which is a very nice place for the knight. Maybe then into the d6 square, or knight to c4 and maybe e5. I'd probably rather be white here, sorry, Anna. Probably rather slightly be white in this position.
I also like White's chances because of this nice knight maneuver that you have pointed out.
Well, that's
Bishop c1. Was there a threat of trapping the bishop with g5, or I'm just not understanding? This is too deep for me. Knight c4 and bishop a3. Is he aiming for another square for the bishop?
It's a bit intriguing. It's one of those moves. You move your most active piece back to its starting square, which I probably wouldn't have considered either, to be honest. But maybe you're right. Maybe the bishop is trying to target c5, but that pawn's not so weak. It's not like if people remember the Nimzo Indian where Black has doubled c-pawns. It's not a doubled pawn. So is the other idea just to get ready for f4 at the right moment? Is he going to try to do this? Well, let's see. Bishop c8. So Black thinks, if you're going to do a silly bishop move, I'm going to do a silly bishop move. It's silly bishop move day. Let's all do a silly bishop move, because that's the kind of people we are. We're silly bishop people. Knight c4, knight b6, queen f3. So no, I don't understand that move either, Anna. I don't understand it.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So bishop g7 played, and well, bishop d2. Okay, I think Black is now absolutely fine. Maybe I overestimated White's position. Black does have the extra space at the moment in the centre of the board, and pieces getting exchanged. White.
Yes, it was important to take on c4 and not blunder bishop a5, but apart from that, I also don't see much danger in this position for Black. Maybe
No.
I even prefer now Black's position because of having more space and this
Yeah.
d4 pawn taking away important squares from White.
Yeah, I agree. The space, it's always nice to play with the extra space as Black has here at the moment. So that does, yeah, I think I slightly like Black's position. If he can play f5 at some moment, maybe. I mean, when you're in these positions, you always got to look at your pawn breaks, and the one main pawn break that Black is going to try to play is this f5 move. When the position is quite closed, so it's a good little tip for everyone at home, you can see the centre of the board, all these pawns, they can't move. None of the pawns really have breaks. So when you have that situation, look for your pawn breaks. First of all, Black is just exchanging off what he considers to be his bad bishop. But later on, he's going to try to go f5, Anna. Maybe White should try to go f4 as well. Maybe this is White's pawn break in the position as well. White can try to do an equal pawn break with this move. Okay, well, we can now very quickly go back to see if there's any other more exciting games. Well, let's go back to the youngster that's the youngest grandmaster in the world at the moment, see if his position has developed. He's just gone rook c3.
I'm not sure that much has happened here.
Not much, no. It's a bit of a positional grind. Not
How
as
about
crazy.
the other two boards? Because these are just two boards. There are two more that we haven't seen from this match.
Okay, yep. So the other
It's Manuel Petrosian, by the way, in Nodirbek's game, who wants to go attacking on the king side and pushes Harry as he should.
Okay, just need to find the name of the players.
No, I was still talking about Nodirbek's game. After rook c3, his opponent went h5, going for h4 next move. So
nice.
Harry, once again.
Harry, here he comes. Kind of a normal idea, isn't it? When your opponent has lost.
The knight on f3.
Yeah. And White's lost the main defender, hasn't he? The bishop, the light square bishop. So if you can try to get in with the queen and pawn, could become a little bit dangerous for White in this position. Could become a little bit dangerous, just a little bit. I wonder if anyone's still on track to win the fantasy results. Maybe Vichy just destroyed everyone. Everyone had Anand, and you know, it just didn't come through. Maybe it just destroyed everyone's fantasy results. Everyone. Maybe.
Could he still be the best? I don't think so, but mathematically it's possible that he could be 2.5 points, but it's usually won with three or 3.5 on first board.
I can see in the Twitch chat, and we're trying to keep up with it now and again, that it looks like Hammer has joined in from his stream with a raiding. I never know what this raiding is, but he's raiding in with a party of 207.
Thank you, John Ludwig. That means that he's bringing his people over to the Chess.com stream now.
Right. So he's raiding
we are
us.
so sorry for the gnomes, John. We have been following, and once Vashia disappeared and you guys started scoring, we really thought that the gnomes had chances. It was heartbreaking that in the end, almost, but it was mission impossible and you almost made it.
Yeah. Be nice to know what Hammer's thoughts are just over on this channel on that one. I mean, obviously they're still in an okay position, but is he going to make some team changes? Is it going to be a bit cagey? Are they really missing? I don't know. Maybe they're missing Magnus. Maybe they need Magnus in the team to lead the charge. It's possible. Also, I'd like to say hello to the Four Symbols. Hello, the Four Symbols. Glad you can join in the stream. Haven't seen you around for a while, so good to have you in the chat here at the same time. Okay, well, going back to this one, it looks pretty evenly based. This is the Armenian Eagles versus the Volga Stormbringers, with the youngest grandmaster in the world at the moment playing a positional game. But Black's last move, g6, is getting ready for an attack with king g7 and maybe rook here. So White's now probably advised to swap some rooks off on the c file. And what are the other two games in this match? I'm just trying to think, because we've only looked at two so far. We'll see if there's anything more exciting. Let me just have a look. So this is the Delhi Dynamite, which we'll come to a bit later on. This one was the other game between the top two players. Position very blocked, but we talked about f5, Anna, and in the last position Black has just played f5, so some way to try to break through. Yeah.
And we also need to see Tersakhayan against Demidov. That's Sambel Tersakhayan against Kuli 4I.
Okay.
I wonder how he pronounces his handle. Kuli.
Coolio.
Cool.
Coolio. Coolio. So, Gangster's Paradise. Like that song. I'm sure everyone's aware of that. Do you think he sings that when he plays? Puts it on in the background?
Probably. Yeah. Maybe it's some kind of a luck-bringer song.
Yeah. Do you say luck-bringer or love-bringer? I'm not sure. Luck-bringer, yeah.
Did it sound like love? I don't know. For now, I think in the chess game, luck would be good enough for them.
Well, I mean, I guess they're all in the last round now, and this is key, isn't it? Now, this 8.5 is the winning score. Are they in the last round? No, they're not in the last round yet. They're still getting there. Rook a d8 played. Well, I think White is slightly better here at the moment. This is a case maybe where the double pawns actually help White. because you can maybe put a pawn on g5 at a certain moment, and that kind of cramps black's position, having a pawn on this square. And maybe another idea later on, you can try to get an attack on the h file potentially, so you can put the king onto g2 and just attack on the Harry file. So that's another possibility. And ChessBay is reminding everyone, thanks ChessBay, that when we're on for about another half an hour, I guess, but straight away after us, the Central Division is starting. Do you know who's commentating after us, Anna? I can't remember who it is at the moment.
Yes, Lawrence Trent is going to be hosting the show, and of course, and with none other than Jan Shahadi. So you should definitely stay here and listen to Jan and Lawrence. And after the Central Division, there are 2 more divisions. It's the whole day Pro Chess League. Call in sick, don't go anywhere. Just stay in front of your computer or in front of the TV.
Definitely. Loads of action to come later on today. Loads of stuff going to be waiting on the horizon. Good day of chess. Well, I would say if we have a quick roundup of what we think's happening at the moment, I like White's position now. White playing f4. I would pick White to win this game. If we go now to, well, that's Delhi Dynamite. So Adriakin's game. I like Adriakin's game here, so I'm going to say the Gorky Stormbringer's there, so it's kind of 1-1. I think his king is now entering into the position. I would say Adriakin's a very good bet for the bracket, Anna, because he's very good at blitz, and he plays Title Tuesday all the time.
I was so tempted to pick him, but I thought, no, how can you pick anyone but not Rishi? So,
yeah.
But I had this thought in the back of my mind. I guess next time I should listen to that. But Rishi is just such a great player, and next time probably he will score 4 out of 4.
As soon as you change your pick, he'll score 4 out of 4. That's just the way it's going to go. You know, as soon as you change, 4 out of 4 is guaranteed. It's typical with these things. Well, I think Black's going to suddenly break through here, either with an e4 or g4 at the right time. Again, it's those pawn breaks, and I expect that Black has the upper hand, and we'll get the break in at some moment in time in this position. Now, what about the young Grandmaster? We're going there to the current position. So this is kind of...
So if Mr. Andreikin wins this game, that will already be 7.5 points for the Stormbringers. They only need 1 more point to win the match, and the draw for a tie. That's not so much to ask for from the rest of the games.
So I'm guessing Black really needs to, in the game we've got up now between Manuel Petrosian needs to get a win here for the Armenian Eagles if they want to have a chance of not losing this match. This is a very important game, and White clearly trying to get the queens off, which is a good idea because the White King is in more danger with Harry coming down. Mm-hmm. Black therefore keeping the queens on, but Black seems a little bit better here. I'd take Black, even though the bishop is not a very good piece on g5. That's the one problem. Bishop is rubbish, but I still like Black in this structure. Let's see.
Yes, it certainly looks like it is Black who's playing for a win here. Even though Nodirbek is on my fantasy chess team, I admit that Black's position should be better here.
Okay. How did you get on the last couple of times for your fantasy chess team? Have you nearly taken 10,000 home, Anna?
No, I was never close. Fiona did very well at the weekend. I think she was number 37. I never got that close.
Okay.
But I scored more than Greg, so that's basically my one and only objective in life, to outperform Greg Shahadi in fantasy chess.
Are you both quite competitive, yeah? You and Greg? Yeah. Got to be out trying to perform here. And right, well, okay.
Oh, Fiona's here with us. Hey, Fiona, you did so well at the weekend. Impressive fantasy chess score.
Hi, Fiona. Hello. So good to see Fiona Cheta. I probably still haven't said that right. I should have said it right by now in the chat. And Fiona has her own Twitch channel, so worth checking out. And we're going to be commentating
Definitely.
together over in Reykjavik soon. So which is going to be a lot
And
of
the
fun.
vlogs from so many chess events, so you can see behind the scenes clips and all the things that normally don't get published in normal newspapers and articles.
Yeah, definitely. Is there quite a lot of controversial stuff in there, would you say, Anna, in Fiona's vlogs? I've seen some of them. They seem a little... They're on the edge of being...
all the fun stuff, and lots of karaoke.
Lots of karaoke. Oh, no, just don't ever include me in any of those karaoke videos, please. So, and I can see Blazer Rose also joined in the chat. So big shout out to Blazer Rose.
Hi, Blazer.
And lots of names we recognise in the chat at this moment in time. Matthew Carr.
Well, congratulations to Bobby. He finished 14th last weekend. So you guys are doing very well in fantasy chess, much better than me and Greg and all the other Chess.com people. We just can't bet.
And also thank you for Butts Spiders. Is that how you say it? Butt 7 Spiders, something like that. Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you.
To the Twitch chess channel here, and the benefits of subscribing are you get these emotes, which are little things. I don't know how to explain them. How do you explain emotes, Anna?
You should use those little things.
Those little things.
Just got with your subscription.
Yeah, just to subscribe to the little things. But you also can look at the archive, so you can look at the archived videos up there, which if you're not subscribed you can't do. And there's so much archive now, so many great videos. If you have a spare evening, you can get this if you just subscribe to the channel.
Yeah. I think we should go to the Delhi match because board one seems to be an exciting game between Gupta and Ladva.
Okay, so
I need to find them myself. Oh, it's Axer versus Abhijit Gupta 10-16, and it's about to be over.
It is little time here, and well, the Estonian horses, they are 1 point clear. So if Black manages to win this, and Black looks like Black have got a great chance here, a great chance. Oh no, has someone posted the karaoke clip of me? I really hope they haven't. If they have, I'm gonna throttle them when I see them next. Please take that off straight away. Oh no, Anna, the karaoke videos are coming out. Let's run.
I know, it's shocking, and I cannot decide if this is just perpetual or he's gonna have mate. So I have these two thoughts on my mind: the karaoke clip and is Gupta winning or is it just a draw?
The mind is getting confused. Well, Gupta's connection, I just saw a little red light flashed up there, which is a bit worrying. It kind of seems like he should be trying to go for a win here somehow. What about bishop d5? Can't you go bishop d5 now? Because if you take the bishop, I have queen takes rook check. But maybe that's only good enough for a draw anyway. Oh, that's nice. He's trying to bring the bishop around to a6. What a lovely move that is. Little bit of okay, well, White's just lost on time. He couldn't find a defense.
What?
He just lost on time. He had about 6 seconds there, but he couldn't get there in time. Nice important win for Gupta there. Very important win, which levels the score. Estonian horses and Delhi Dynamite are now on 7 apiece, Anna. This is really close finishing going on in this match.
It is. By the way, if we can just have a look at the final position, I just started thinking that I don't see a defense for White. So even though he lost on time, I think his position is lost as well.
This is kind of beautiful winning move then. Bishop to reroute the bishop.
It looks like bishop a6 and f3, the combination of those two moves
should be winning. So if I play, I don't know what move I can play. My pieces as White are too passive, aren't they? They're really, really passive. Let's say I go rook to c2 to try and defend, something like that.
I just thought I will go f3 and I'm still threatening bishop a6. Well, we should have a look at... I've just realized that the rest of the games, of course, are still going on.
Sure.
And we just need to check how is this match going to end with the other two games. It's Herman Sharma against Uku Volner. That's Herman versus Parmupil.
Okay.
That's one of the games, if you have them.
I've brought up so far. I've found the one with Grover versus Canep.
Sure, that's also fine.
And it seems like Black is 3 pawns up. Oh my words, can you stop posting the karaoke? Show someone else's karaoke, please. And Thank you, by the way, to JJ Nandos TV, who's just also subscribed to the channel. So thank you for that subscription there. That's very, very kind. Well, it looks like black should be winning this one, but he's not making much progress, and white is very active. The king can try to come into g6. Let's have a look. Well, actually, we do have plenty more moves. Sorry, I was a bit slow there. And we have this ending. Black still 2 pawns up. Black should be winning, but how is he going to go about winning it? I'm racing through the moves now. Still not making any progress in this position. He's not doing anything. What is black doing? He's going around in circles.
No, he's not making a progress.
This is like a drunk king. This is like me on karaoke night. Look at it. Where am I going? Oh, no. I'll go around. Woohoo! Off we go. And it's not doing anything. Okay, the drunk king. I mean, is he going to win this one?
I don't know. He doesn't have much time, and he's just going back and forth. Not that it's easy to proceed here, because white's king is perfectly placed on e4, and the white's rook is taking care of the black king. So whenever... Oh, it's a draw. Repetition.
I mean, surely black made a major mistake around here. I mean, if I'm black here, you play rook e8, and they get a draw. Surely black should be doing something like... Might be a draw anyway. Give up one of the pawns. Play a move like rook f6. Let the pawn drop. And then just try to keep the force field against the enemy's king. Slowly try to move your g-pawn down. For example, here, rook f2. And now I still don't know how I'm going to win, but how do I make progress? I want to go sort of king and pawn, but it's still...
Well, so this is... Sorry, Simon, but this is a tie, and there's this last game that will decide the match.
Which game is it? Which game is it?
And Wallner. Hermont versus Parmopil. It's a bishop endgame, opposite card bishops, but white is capturing all the pawns. So now he has 3 post pawns. Okay, 2 remaining. One of them will promote.
Wow, what a game! This is this is a big game. It looks, dare I say, like a draw. No, it's not. Is it winning? Because the king can come to... I think it's winning. The king comes to b8. Can't you just... Oh, he's taken... It's winning for white.
He just went for the pawn first. He didn't want to take it with the bishop so that the f6 pawn would still remain on the board. And Sharma wins the game and the match for the Delhi Dynamites. Wow.
They've done it. They've done it. So that was a very important ending there. So close, some of these last rounds, Anna, going into it. And
just one game deciding the entire match. But, wow, this was such a close match. It could have gone either way. And in the end, last board of these teams have decided. And I'm happy that I have Sharma on my fantasy chess team.
Okay, good pick. Good pick there for... Sharma, and I don't know what the personal scores are. We'll try to get updated, but
yeah, I have no idea. Maybe he just scored 1 point this last one, but it was important.
Yeah, very important. So there's only one more match going on, and just to remind everyone of the standings before the round, we'll try to update it at the end. But Delhi Dynamite, Mumbai, and Riga have won. So Delhi Dynamite, a very important victory for them because they weren't in the qualification zone, but they have now, by winning that last game, and you can see the pairings here, Delhi Dynamite playing the Estonian horses. By winning that one, they have kicked the Estonian horses out probably because on game points, and they've taken their place. Actually, they've got more than Estonian horses, so very important win, as we see.
And an important game. Sorry, Simon, for interrupting you, but we should go back to Andreikin's game.
Definitely.
It's Andresian Andreikin still this rook game, but it seems like Andreikin has made a major improvement. Yeah,
definitely. And King D1 played, so, well, he is a pawn down, but his rooks have come into the position, Anna. If his king could get in, it would be game over. Is this winning? Because white has a lot of checks. White can check, check, check. Maybe the king can come to h5. Okay, king c1, stopping checkmate. Rook takes g2. Checkmate is a threat. White moving very quickly. It looks like it should be winning for black, I agree. With the d
He's
pawn.
going to take all the white pawns. You take on f3, you take the h3 pawn, you can go for the a pawn as well. Well, okay, maybe white will take your a5 pawn, but if you have the h and the d pass pawn, that has to be winning.
It has to be, yeah. With the d pawn coming down the board. Well, now, I mean...
Immediately. He's not even taking the f3 pawn.
No, he's just trying to calculate this. I guess the rook has to come behind that pawn But this is but then there's the other threats, rook c2 and rook b1 checkmate. There's 2 threats. So for example, if you try to stop the d pawn, rook c2 check, rook b1 is a forced checkmate. And if white tries to stop that idea with something like rook b5, well then d2 check is going to be winning, just winning the rook. That's the simplest way. So I'm not sure after d3 how white can stop those multiple threats, stop both d2 and rook c2, Anna. Is this just game? Could just be game.
It could well be the end of this game, and for the team, that means that the Stormbringers will only need 1 more point to win the match against the leaders of the Eastern Division, the Armenia Eagles.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Adriakin will win. So where are they going to get the other point from, do we think, Anna? Let's go back to the young player. I was going to say little player, the youngest player, and probably little as well. He's probably small as well, isn't he? And
yeah, he's really cute and strong.
Yes. He's in a lot of trouble here. He has a time advantage, but he's in a lot of trouble on the board, I think. A lot of trouble in this position, with black has made serious progress, and black is now going to start taking this pawn, and the h pawn is going to queen.
What's going on here?
It is a piece. It is a piece. I didn't see that, I have to admit. But I think the h pawn is going to decide this one. Isn't that h pawn too strong? 2 squares away from queening? Is that maybe
it does
a winner?
look like that.
Yeah.
This is crazy stuff.
Queen f2, and then, or queen g2, h2. White trying to get some counterplay maybe with a queen e5 check. But the thing is, black's time so low here. 7 seconds. We could stick with this one until the end.
Yeah, certainly. So it's a piece up for Nodirbek, but the h pawn is going to promote in 2 moves, and the b1 knight is not really collaborating.
And we can sort of say that if the player of the black pieces does win, does queen harry, without getting checkmated, they're going to win the match, because Adriakin is going to win.
He almost lost on time.
Oh, and again he almost lost. Is this a draw? Can he go for a win?
Well,
Can he
it does look like.
He can't. Can he go for a win? King g5? Oh.
And if I go back to
it's a draw.
It's a draw, repetition. But couldn't he try? What was happening after king h8? Could he try king h8?
Okay, well, do I repeat with the same thing?
It's a draw, but the Stormbringers have won already.
They've won already. Okay. So
because Mr. Andreikin has won, and there must have been another draw.
Yeah, they've won the match.
Apart from this, so that's over for the Armenia Eagles. The sole leader is now the Mumbai Movers, with Vish's victory in the last round, and the Stormbringers take an important 2 points to climb up in the standings.
Whew, quite an exciting day, Anna.
Yeah, it's been very exciting, but I think there's still 1 game, or we are missing 1 point from the scoreboard.
We are. This one game is still going on, and this is Samvel playing against Mikhail, and white seems to be doing well here, but of course this doesn't affect the final results, but it will improve the Armenian Eagles game points. That's another thing. If there's a tie at the end, of course you do it on board points rather than match points, and I think white will probably win this one eventually. Blazero, hello Blazero, is asking, Simon, have you heard anything from Morton? This is kind of like people who follow my Twitch stream, Ginger GM. Morton was very involved. Yes, I have, Blazero. I gave him an email, and he's just been very busy. He's just had a young-born child, and he's okay. He's happy, and he seems all right. And he said he even had to miss Fiona's birthday stream because he's working too much. So. But he's okay, Blazero, which is good news. So yeah.
White is still trying to win this, and as you mentioned, for the tiebreak, it's important to score as many points as possible. Therefore, even though the Armenians have lost the match, the first match, now the only leader is the Mumbai Movers. So it's, of course, heartbreaking for the Eagles, but this point could still be important.
Yeah, you might as well. You got the extra piece. It's always nice having the extra piece, isn't it? I think, you know, in these situations. And Black defending well, but at the end of the day, it should be a win for White. I don't know. I missed some moves there when I was having a sip of my tea. It's coming quite quick and fast, and you know, you have a sip of tea and it's gone. And I think now that the Black Rook has gone passive and the White King's getting chased away, if you go King
definitely
F5,
an improvement.
Yeah, the Black King is too far away from the pawns now. It must be winning. Must be winning. The way you win this, eventually your king is probably going to come round and you will win the G6 pawn. It just takes a little bit of time, and again the king's getting forced off. It's winning more and more easy now. You might not even need to win that pawn.
Sorry, Simon, for interrupting you. I just wanted to say that once again. Shout out to the manager of the Norway Gnomes, streamer John Ludwig Hammer. He's here with us on Twitch in the chat, and we are really sorry for the Gnomes, because I don't know, John, if you heard us before, but we were just saying that you guys almost did something that seemed to be impossible after the first 2 rounds. It was 7-1. So to come back, to almost make a comeback after losing the match 7-1, that is incredible.
It certainly is, yeah. And not quite there. I think it was the first round really, which was a killer. I mean, did you give him a chat before the first round, John Ludwig? Because that was or
was it the halfway speech? We would like to know what happened between the second and the third round. What was that huge difference? Is it the pizza?
Yeah. Because the first round 4-0. I mean, I've never seen that actually in a pro chess league, and that really put them on a bad foot. I think maybe Lauren's mouse slip there could have just been the thing, and this happens with online chess. Adds to the excitement. One little mouse slip and you lose the game. Not okay. Well, we now have the last game has now finished, and that was a good sign of chess technique there. I think at the end, Anna, with Samuel eventually coming through. So, well, we have the final scores now. So, a good day. This has kind of messed up the league a little bit, because it did. Things were going, all the sort of teams who were doing well, I think lost today, didn't they? They lost to the lower rated play, the people below them.
Except for the Movers, thanks to Vichy in the last round.
Except for the Movers, yeah. It was a very good day for them.
Movers, now sole leaders of the Eastern Division.
Yeah.
But it's still wide open, the spots for qualification. And 4 more matches to go. So we have just passed the halfway mark. The standings have just been updated. We have a very efficient crew working behind the scenes. So if we update the standings on the website of the Pro Chess League, prochessleague.com, you will see already the updated results.
Okay, and thank you for GNorby01, who's just subscribed to the Twitch channel here. I'm going to try to quickly, just while Anna takes you through some other bits and bobs, I'm going to try to get those standings for you. So if you give me 1 minute, I'll try to show them on the broadcast here. And
I think we definitely should sum up what has happened today. Viswanathan Anand has made his debut on Chess.com. It's the first time that he played in the Pro Chess League, and the first time that he played on Chess.com, at least according to what we know. Maybe he has another username that we are not aware of, just to practice. But officially, he has never played on Chess.com, and he made his debut in the Pro Chess League and won the match for his team, the Mumbai Movers, by beating in the last round Benjamin Gladura, a Hungarian player he lost to in a classical game in Gibraltar a few years ago. The other huge highlight of the day was the match between the Gnomes and the Magicians, where the Magicians were leading 7-1 after 2 rounds. They only needed 1.5 points out of 8 games, and they were very close to not making it, thanks to John Ludwig Hammer, who offered pizza to his players if they scored 2 out of 2 in the remaining games. Delhi Dynamite beat the Estonia Horses. That's very good for the Indian team. The horses were doing very well so far, so it was important for the Delhi Dynamites to score and get closer to the top of the standings, while the other leader, the Armenia Eagles, have lost their match against the Volga Stormbringers. The Stormbringers now have 3 points, getting close to the qualification spots as well. So it's just wide open, the Eastern Division.
Definitely, and I think, Anna, thanks for that. I'm going to now bring in the updated standings, so very quick, everyone updating it. And I should say, please do check out the Pro Chess League website. It's literally Pro Chess League. If you can't find it, you can't use a computer. I don't know what you're doing here watching us. How are you watching us in the first place? Very easy to find. And so the team standings before the match with this, and you can see the rules there. Basically, the top 4 teams go through to the playoffs, the knockout stages. And I'm now going to put on, excuse me while I have to remove this, it's the only way I can do it live. Hope you can bear with me. I'm going to put on the updated scores, and this is now the updated scores. So we can see here, I think this is the updated scores, that the Mumbai Movers are now in a great position, Anna, at the top of the table in the Eastern Division. It's followed by the Armenian Eagles and the Delhi Dynamite, but the loss today by the Norway Gnomes, it puts them in a little bit of danger because they're sharing the score with Riga and Estonia, Anna.
You're right, and now it's not clear at all that Magnus Carlsen's team will make it. They are tied with 2 other teams. 4 more matches to go, so stay tuned for the Eastern Division. And for the rest of the fun today, the Central Division is about to begin, and Lawrence Trent and Jen Shahadi will now take over of the Chess.com stream. So it's been a pleasure to stream for you guys, but don't go anywhere because only Simon and I are saying goodbye, but the rest of the streamers and the rest of the show is just coming up.
Certainly, and as always, just repeating what Anna said there, really just want to thank everyone for watching the Eastern Division here. Do stay tuned. There's hours and hours of more chess coming up. We have the updated results. Go to the website to check out. So thank you to everyone watching, and of course a massive thank you to you, Anna, for hosting the show. And
thanks to you, Simon. You always handle it so professionally, and I love your backgrounds. It just looks so professional, everything that you do.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but funky backgrounds occasionally. So anyway, well, cheers Anna, and and we're going to log off, but stay tuned, there's more to come after us. So bye for now.
See you.